Testing 1 2 3. Test test test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Test test test. Testing 1 2 3. Test test test. Testing 1 2 3.
So far, so good.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. Time for Hobbs Eagle football. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, on YouTube as well, on the Hobbs Sports Channel. Ty Friend here with you tonight as the Hobbs Eagles, their next to last district game here at Watson Stadium. Beautiful sunrise in the background. We've got some orange skies and some two teams ready to play some football here. The Eagles at 7-1 overall, 2-1 in the district, and Oregon Mountain out of Las Cruces currently sitting at 0-3 in district and a 3-5 overall record. So this is a very critical game for the Eagles in terms of seeding as well for the playoffs of the postseason, as they have two more district games, this one tonight, and then, of course, at Carlsbad next week. That's a critical game as well. Carlsbad still in contention for a playoff spot, too, and so they're definitely going to be waiting for the Hobbs Eagles in that one. Of course, Hobbs winning that big last year. These two teams are kind of at the different spectrums in terms of the district standings at this point in time. Hobbs currently sitting at 2-1 on the season and currently second behind Centennial, who is undefeated at 4-0. Centennial, of course, defeated the Hobbs Eagles earlier this season, so they do have an advantage in terms of the district crown at this point, but they still have a couple of games left on their schedule as well. And, of course, we mentioned Oregon Mountain at the bottom at 0-3 at this point, trying to get their first win of the season, I should say. Oregon Mountain is averaging 24 points a contest and giving up 22, so barely a +2 margin there. And the Hobbs Eagles averaging 45 points a game and only giving up 20. In fact, the total point production for the Eagles pretty big at this point. They're just second place, or actually first place in terms of point production, even higher than the top seed Centennial at this point, and they're second on the team in terms of defensive numbers given up. So Hobbs doing a real good job in their current position at second in the district. Of course, last week, big win over Alamogordo, 47-3. Eagles had 26 points just in the second quarter alone, and we're up almost by a mercy rule margin at halftime, 33-0. Field goal put through by Alamogordo in the third quarter, and Hobbs adding two more touchdowns in the fourth for the 44-point victory. Eagles had 65 total plays in that game, only 47 for Alamogordo, and the big difference was the time with the football possessions. 18 first downs for the Eagles and only 6 for Alamogordo, so they definitely had control of the football through much of that game and wrapped it up again, 47-3, the final in that one. In terms of total yardage, Eagles with 400 total in that game, 272 in the pass, 128 in the run department. Alamogordo only had 48 total yards, 2 rushing, and 46 passing. So complete control by the Eagles in that game. Lots of guys getting involved with the touches of the football. Diego Baeza, a total of 10 carries for 56 yards. He was the leader. Omar Argot, the quarterback, he had 8 carries for 39 yards. Those two guys are pretty much well above the crowd for the 128 total for the Eagles on the ground. In terms of touchdowns, there were a couple of them. Omar Argot getting both of the rushing touchdowns for the Eagles. We'll take a quick break. The national anthem here at Watson Stadium. We'll be back with you live here on Hobbs Eagles Network.
Go.
We're back live at Watson Stadium after the national anthem. The Hobbs Eagle fight song now being played here from the Hobbs Eagle Marching Band. It is senior night, so we will talk about some of those seniors as we progress throughout the game. The Eagles taking on the squad out of Las Cruces, Oregon Mountain, formerly Oñate, the Knights. Currently at 0-3 in the district, Eagles at 2-1. We were talking about the Alamogordo game from last week, the one that the Eagles won 47-3. Discussed the rushing game, but a lot of passing going on as well for Hobbs. Caden Trevino catching 6 balls for 167 yards. In fact, Argot was 17 of 25 in the air for 272, 65% completion rate, averaging 16 yards on the catches, 4 touchdowns in the air, 1 interception. So definitely getting the things done in the air there for the Eagles. Other receivers in that ball game, Jeremiah Hawkes had 5 catches for 49 yards, close to a 10-yard average there. Evan Ortega with 4 catches for 43 yards, 11 average for him, and a long of 21. So Eagles getting 4 touchdowns in the air, 3 from Caden Trevino and 1 from Jeremiah Hawkes. So lots of receivers getting involved with the work there. And we're just talking offense right now. What about only giving up 3 points on the defensive side and only that field goal coming in the third quarter? Definitely a shutdown mode for the Hobbs Eagle defense. And that's why they're currently one of the best teams in the state in terms of shutting down their opponents. We mentioned the numbers earlier in terms of what those are, 45 averaging on the offense, giving up just 20 on the defense. Leading in tackles in that game, Zayden McPherson finishing with 13 total, 6 on the solo, 7 on the assist. Did have a sack in the ball game as well. Right behind him, as usual, usually at number 1, but in this game, second in tackles, Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker. He had 11. 7 of those were assists, and he had a sack as well. In fact, there were a total of 7 sacks, those tackles for losses for the Hobbs Eagles in that ball game, so definitely getting through the line. Also picking up sacks, Andre Alvarado, Canyon Johnson, and DeAndre Haynes. Definitely some big-time numbers for the Hobbs Eagles in shutting down that Alamogordo offense. We mentioned earlier just a total of 48 yards in total offense, 46 pass and 2 rush for the Tigers in that loss. And Alamogordo actually was a team that upset Las Cruces earlier in the district schedule as well. So you can't say they're the worst team in the district at this point. Definitely a good foe to be dealing with, even though the Eagles beat them by 44 points. So Hobbs pretty much in that second place slot right now with this game coming up against I'm going to keep saying Oñate, I know as I go along tonight, Oregon Mountain. Oregon Mountain just got done playing Las Cruces recently, and they lost by just 10, 31-21. Of course, one of their rival teams from Las Cruces. Las Cruces high at 324 yards in that game. Oregon Mountain finishing with 249. And predominant passing game for the Knights, 178 yards in the air compared to 71 on the ground. They converted on 6 out of 14 third down conversions, so that was not horrible in that ball game. Oregon Mountain was actually up 14 to nothing in the first quarter. Fabian Lazoya, one of their running backs, had a rushing touchdown. Then they got a fumble recovery, and then later on, Logan Tarango, the quarterback, had a passing touchdown. Then it was 14-10 at the half as Las Cruces able to get a couple of scores on the scoreboard. But after halftime, definitely changeover to Las Cruces high in that game. 31 unanswered points to get the victory. Las Cruces was using a freshman quarterback his first start of the season and still were able to come back and get the win, mostly on the ground. David Barela, the running back, the Eagles faced him earlier this year for Las Cruces High. He had all 4 of the rushing touchdowns for the Las Cruces squad in that win. So 10-point game, pretty close as it went down to the wire, but Las Cruces High got the win to keep Oregon Mountain scoreless. If you look at the other common opponents this season between these two teams, Hobbs and Oregon Mountain, Rio Rancho, both teams have played. Oregon lost to them by 7 points. Eagles beat Rio Rancho by 10, 30-20. And a very important game for Hobbs in that one because Rio Rancho currently ranked 5th in the Max Preps poll, just 1 spot below the Hobbs Eagles. And in the coaches poll this season, number 6, and that's a couple of spots down below the Eagles, who are number 4. So that's a big game for the Eagles defeating Rio Rancho, and it does hurt Oregon Mountain, although they're not going to have a shot at the playoffs anyway. Both teams also played Centennial. Of course, the Eagles only lost by 7 here at home, 27-20, and Oregon Mountain thrashed by 36 points in that game, 49-13. So different disadvantage for Oregon Mountain when you compare those two scores. And we mentioned Las Cruces High. Eagles beat them by 16, 44-28. We just mentioned that Oregon Mountain lost to Las Cruces High 16-10. They did play Carlsbad recently, another game where they were up early 13-0, but then let Carlsbad have 26 unanswered points, and the Cavemen won that one by just 7 points, 33-26. All 5 of the Carlsbad touchdowns were on the ground, so the running game working pretty well. That might be something that Coach Ken Stevens with the Hobbs Eagles might look at tonight in terms of possibly running the football as much as they can to see if that'll work against this Oregon Mountain defense, which is very much on the road in this game tonight. Logan Tarango, the quarterback for Oregon Mountain, passed for over 200 yards in that game, just threw 1 interception, And wide receiver Isaiah Maldonado, he's their top receiver, had over 100 yards in receptions in that ball game. So he's definitely the guy the Eagles have to watch in terms of the passing game. This Oregon Mountain team does like to throw the football. She just get that on the table right now. They're definitely going to keep it aired out at the Gordo contest. They did get 7 sacks against the Tigers, so that definitely is a feather in the cap of the Hobbs Eagle coaching staff to get this team ready for their district opponents. Last year, the Eagles doubled up Oregon Mountain 56-28. Big win on the road. Hobbs defense getting 6 sacks in that ball game and 7 pass deflections, so definitely putting a lot of knock-on-the-door type of mentality there for the Hobbs Eagle D. On the offensive side, Colton Graham, the starting quarterback in that game, threw for over 207 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air, just 1 interception. The Eagles did fumble 1 time in that game. Omar Argot did see a little bit of action in that contest at the quarterback position. He was 0 for 2 in the passing department. Wide receiver Caden Trevino with the big day, 6 catches for 83 yards, a couple of touchdowns in the air. Diego Baeza had 3 catches for 45 yards. Ethan Van Landingham also a couple of catches for 24 yards, and Evan Ortega snagged 1 for 12. So 4 different receivers getting some time in that game last year in the 56-28 victory. Diego Baeza also rushing the ball 14 times for 66 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. He was the leader in the rushing game. Trevino had a 27 on the ground and a TD. Van Landingham, 3 carries for 26, and Omar Argot did get some time in late in that contest. He had 2 carries for 30 yards. Eagles with 224 on the ground and 166 in the passing game in that win last year over this squad, Oregon Mountain. A couple of guys returning for the Knights this year on the squad that played in that last year's game. Joe Estrada had 8 carries for 44 in that loss. Levi Goodman, who's a big guy out there with a 6'2" frame, he had 1 carry for 3, and Ricky Villegas had a carry for 2 yards. On the receiving side, they had 166 yards in the air. Eric Dominguez, he was the big receiver for them, 6 catches for 53 yards, and Ricky Villegas had a catch for 23 yards. So receiving, passing-wise, 166 in the air for Oregon Mountain last year's game and 138 in the rushing department for that same squad. As we get ready for the kickoff here at Watson Stadium, Oregon Mountain will be wearing the white uniforms and the black helmets and black trim. Eagles will be at the black uniforms for their predominant color, and the gold on top of that. It is seniors night. So far this season, looking at the stats for the Hobbs Eagles, Omar Argot throwing for 1,806 yards, 63% completions, averaging 16 yards a catch for his receivers, and about 225 yards in the air per game, and 21 touchdowns in the air with 6 interceptions. Top rushers so far this season, kind of a battle going on there. Diego Baeza with 574 on the ground, and Argot 557, the quarterback and the RB, taking the ball quite a bit. In the passing department and the receiving corps, of course, a bunch of guys stepping up. Jaquez with 525 yards in receptions. Trevino at 829. He is the leader, and he's averaging 18 yards a catch. Jaquez averaging 17.5. You can't get much closer than that. Those 2 guys really dominating in terms of the pass receptions. Van Landingham has caught for 304 yards so far this year, and those are pretty much the leaders in terms of the passing game. Leading tackler, Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker, 100 tackles this season. Zayden McPherson, another linebacker and secondary member, 80 tackles. And 56 for Hernandez, the outside linebacker. Ready for the kickoff. The Eagles will return to get this game started at Watson Stadium. Here's the kickoff. They'll keep it on the ground. They'll take a roll. It gets past the return man at the 30 on the far right sideline. The ball's bobbing around and picked up by Trevino finally, and he brings it back to the 25. Looks like the initial guy to try to scoop it up for the Eagles, Hector Armendariz, couldn't get a grip on it, but recovered by Trevino, and the ball will be at the Eagle 25, and already a guy flat on his back injured. We'll have to wait to see who that is before we jump the gun and make the call. It's going to take some time, too. That's all the way over by the Oregon Mountain sideline, as they're going to get some trainers out there already on the first kickoff of the ball game. Not something you want to see this early, or any part of the ball game for that matter. Still taking some time, and he's flat on his back. Much of the training staff is heading out there now. Eagles will finish up the season next week at Carlsbad for the regular season, currently ranked 4th in both polls, coaches poll and the Max Preps. We also mentioned that much of a chance here for Oregon Mountain to make the playoffs this year. They're 0-3 in district with those 2 games remaining as well tonight and then next week. Well, this might take a few seconds here to be dealing with. We're going to take a quick break. We're just underway here at Watson Stadium after the kickoff with an injury for the Hobbs Eagles. We'll come back in 30 seconds on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at Watson Stadium, the injured Eagle Manuel Murillo brought off the field. He's a cornerback for the Eagles on the kickoff return, and now the Eagles have the football 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Go with the handoff to Baeza, tries to head out left, cuts up the middle to the 35, keeps pulling a pile with him, continuing to pull the Knights all the way close to the 35. He's going to go down before that at about the 30, looks like the 34-yard line. That's going to be a 9-yard pickup to get things started for the Hobbs Eagle rushing game. Almost a first down for Hobbs. Eagles with the hurry-up offense on the line of scrimmage. Not going to leave any time for Oregon Mountain to make a decision on what they want to do in terms of the defensive set. They've got 4 in the front row right now. Eagles have put trips left, a receiver right. They're all looking at the sideline to get the play call from Coach Stevens. Back in shotgun goes Argot. Taking some time now. Shotgun, going to throw the screen to the left side. Caught by the Eagles near left sideline to Van Landingham up the side across the first down marker and then some. He's going to get 7 to move the chains for the Eagles. Already a first down at the 42-yard line. So 7 yards for Van Landingham. First catch of the ball game for the Eagles. 1 for 1 in the passing department for Argot and that first down. From the 42-yard line, still on their side of the field on the left hash. Trips left, receiver right. Still 4 in the box for, actually 3 now. They throw the screen over to Van Landingham. He's going to throw it downfield, though, to his receiver. Gets deflected near the sideline, out of bounds in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Ball got tipped up in the air. Was intended for Diego Baeza and ricocheted high in the air. Almost picked off for Oregon Mountain. Now the tip by Isaiah Maldonado, the cornerback, and that was a big sigh of relief for the Hobbs Eagle fans. The coaching staff for Hobbs on this near left sideline was showing the referee it's out of bounds. Don't let him have the INT on that one. So a dangerous throw as the receiver caught it, Van Landingham, then he chucked it down the field after the screen. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. We got a bunch of jumping from Oregon Mountain on the right side of the line defensively, and looks like the first guy across was Diego Gonzalez. That should be a offside penalty against the visitors for their first penalty of the ball game for 5 yards. So that'll move it up to the 47-yard line to bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles, getting close to midfield already on their first possession of the ball game. Twins right and left. Argot back by himself. Now it's going to be back there with Baeza. He'll get the fake handoff around the left end. Argot with the juke move to the 50, heading to the left sideline. 45 into Oregon Mountain territory. 9 make it 8 yards for Argot on his first carry of the ball game. So far 2 carries for 17 total for the Hobbs Eagle rushing attack. Their 2nd first down. And I'll move the chains up to the 45 of Oregon Mountain on the left hash. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Argot will say something to his line of scrimmage up front, and now he's going to back out of it. He'll put Baez on his right shoulder of the backfield. 3 in the front gap there for Oregon Mountain. Shotgun snap, turns and fires the screen pass to the right side. A blooper caught at the 45 and brought across the line, and out about 7 yards ahead for a positive pickup on that far sideline. And that was Armendariz. Actually make that Van Landingham instead. 5 yards for him. That's his 2nd catch. 2 for 12 total, averaging 6 on the pop there. 2 for 3, the Eagles now in the passing game. 2nd down and 5 from the Oregon Mountain 40-yard line on the right hash. Trips left, receiver right. Team looking at the sideline for the play call. Just underway here in the first quarter. 10:03 remaining, still scoreless. First drive for the Eagles. 2nd and 5 from the 40. Long snap count here for Argot. Takes a good one. Hand off to Baeza, angling right to left. Breaks a tackle to the 40. Tries to head outside and is dropped just across the 40-yard line to about the 39. For progress, maybe the 38 if he's lucky. But he's not a rubber band on that one. Looks like they'll just give him 1 on that rush. 2 carries for 10 total now for Baeza. 18 as a team on 3 rushes for the Eagles, 6 a pop. 3rd down and 4 now for Hobbs at the 39, middle of the field there for up against the defense of the Knights. They're going to load up the box and back 2 out. So 3 up front. Back to pass. Argot on a 2-step drop. Pump fake. Throws the out route. Caught on the near sideline and strapped down to the 29. That will be a first down pickup for Van Landingham. That'll be 11 yards for Van Landingham. His 3rd catch. All 3 passes coming to him. 23 yards. That's the 3rd first down. Argot now 3 for 4 in the passing game. They move it to the left hash here at the 28-yard line of the Knights. Argot's going to take some time on the snap here. Trips right, receiver left. Down the middle on the seam route, over the shoulder. Reaching back for it and making the catch for the touchdown. That's going to be a 28-yarder Backpedaling and getting it over the shoulder, and a big chest bump after the touchdown. So a 28-yarder Vino on that catch. So he gets himself in the books. A 28-yard touchdown reception from Argot. Eagles are 4 for 5 in the passing game for 51 yards already just on that first drive. The kick is bobbled on the snap. They're going to throw the holder down pretty hard and no chance for the kick. So a low snap on that one, and unfortunately Eagles cannot even get the kick off on the PAT, and hopefully that won't come back to haunt them later on. As we got a 6-0 lead with 8:58 left here in the first quarter. Your score, Hobbs 6, the Knights nothing. We'll take a 60-second break and come back live on Hobbs America. Welcome back to Watson Stadium as the Hobbs Eagles lead 6-0. A 28-yard touchdown pass from Argot to Trevino. Missed the PAT on a block. Actually was bobbled first. The Eagles trying to get out of the way of the rush and could not be able to get the kickoff on that one. Chacon's going to kick off for the Eagles on the first time of the ball game. This is going to be a nice spiral end over end now to the 5-yard line, brought across the 15. Edging out to the left side of the 20, far side, 25, and they'll actually get short of the 25, about the 23-yard line on the return. Play some defense for their first time tonight. They're going to mark the ball at the 23-yard line. That's where the Knights will start their first offensive series. Definitely mostly a passing team are the Knights. Trying to get their first district win of the season. Starting quarterback Logan Tarango, their best receiver Isaiah Maldonado. Twins right, receiver left. Man in motion to the left, slot back now. Fake the hand up, dump it in the left flat, out to the 25, 30, 35, and the first down pickup. That's going to be about a 12-yarder converted for Oregon Mountain. And the reception for the Knights on the play after 12 yards was Francisco Alvarado. So his first catch of the ball game for 12. First down for the Knights as well. They're 1 for 1 in the passing game. Now at the 35 of their own. On the left hash. Twins left and right. Single setback. Shotgun high. And there's a whistle as Tarango had to jump for it, the quarterback, and they stopped the play dead. So it must have been some jumping on the line. False start going to be called against Oregon Mountain. That'll be their second penalty, total of 10 yards at this point. Still Eagles up 6-0 here. 8:41 left in the first. 28-yard touchdown pass from Argot to Trevino on senior night. Ball be backed up to the 30-yard line. Making a first and 15 now from the left hash. Knights offense now looking to the sideline as they try to get the play call from Coach Steve Castile. Coach is having to come out on the field about 10 yards in to talk to his quarterback for some reason. And they still haven't hit the huddle yet. Kind of stretching it out like the Eagles do, the hurry-up offense, but taking a lot of time to get up there. Whitecap now is going to exit the field over towards the Hobbs Eagles sideline on the left side. I'm not sure what this is about, as they already called the false start penalty, and now the referee's coming to the Eagles sideline for some reason, trying to get the attention of Coach Ken Stevens. A little bit of delay now, and not really seeing what the discussion is about. They're looking up to the stands. I kind of was wondering if maybe they're saying the marching band can't be playing during a live ball. That does happen once in a while where the referee will call that, make sure that they're not going during the live balls. But I thought they just started their song when they had the break here. But Coach Ken Stevens looked up to the crowd and got on his headset, so he's talking to somebody up here in the booth. Maybe it's a clock issue at this point. 8:41 left here in the first, and they do have the play clock on the field at 25, field clock, so I'm not sure if there was a malfunction or what else this could be a part of here. Whitecap is still looking up to the press box on this side. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. He's pointing towards Hobbs for some reason as he looks over to Coach Ken Stevens once again. So we're not sure what the heck the call is. The referees, I've been using microphones the last couple of home games, and maybe that must be the issue too, that the microphone isn't working. But you don't have to have that on necessarily. That's just a courtesy so everybody knows what's going on in the field. Like we do need to know right now what's happening. Whitecap is just going to still walk around in the backfield now as the coaching staff kind of has their hands up in the air, not sure what to do about whatever situation the problem is right now. Band has stopped playing, but nobody was signaling them to stop. So it's going to be a 1st and 15. The penalty will stand for Oñate. Make it Oregon Mountain. There's my first mess up of the ball game there. 4 on the front line for the Eagles. They're now stacking 5. Shotgun high. Taranga going to hand it up the middle, and they're going to dive a pile to the 35-yard line for a 5-yard pickup. Bunch of guys getting inside that time as the 5-yard pickup for Oregon Mountain by Joe Estrada. First wrap up for the Eagles down low on the line of scrimmage as he drug across. Kenyon Singleton get his first wrap up of the ball game. Actually, give him a little bit more than that. That time was 6 on the carry. This time we hand around the left end. There's a big pile up in the backfield. That's going to be a drop loss of about 2 yards. Not much going on there that time for Oregon Mountain. Fabian Lozoya is going to be losing about 2 yards on that carry. As a whole host of Hobbs Eagles getting through the line of scrimmage and black and gold all over the place that time. Loss of 2 for Lozoya. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 now at the 35-yard line. Shotgun, back to pass Tarongo. 2-step drop, fires the out route. Loose near the first down marker, gets knocked down. A couple of Hobbs Eagle defenders on that far sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. And it looked like a couple of guys getting a piece of the football as well for the Hobbs Eagle cornerback crew on that side. That was Isaac Flanagan, and also helping out Zayden McPherson right near the first down marker. So an incomplete pass as it's 1 for 2 in the passing department so far for Oregon Mountain. They're facing a 4th and 10, their first punt of the ball game. The kick's going to be from the 25-yard line. Going to be a high one. Catch made at the 24 on the left hash up to the 30. Return to the 35, 40 near sideline. And then falling forward to the 44. Almost looked like a horse collar tackle from behind that time. But it looked like maybe the hand slipped off his back just barely. As a return man for the Hobbs Eagles on that play, getting some good field position as well, Hector Armendariz. That's going to be all the way back to the 44-yard line. The Eagles' second possession of the game on the left hash. They lead 6-0 with 7:21 remaining here in the first quarter over Oregon Mountain. Again, the Eagles beat this team 56-28 last season on the road in Las Cruces. Twins left, receiver right, shotgun Argot, reverse, coming to Trevino to the right side. 45, stretching down 50, 45, 40, 35, and diving through to the 34-yard line. First down pickup. Again, just outside the red zone on the right hash. Argot will back up into the shotgun, trips left, receiver right. Back with him is Baez on the left shoulder. Makes a handoff, 2-step drop. He wants to air it down the middle of the field over the shoulder. In the run, and Van Landingham juggles it at the goal line and could not come up with a catch. He had a couple of steps past his defender. That would have been a 34-yard touchdown catch. He had it in his hands kind of near his waist in front of him, heading towards the goal line, and then juggled at the last second. Did have a chase on behind him that time, so might have heard a little bit of footstep action. But should have had a touchdown out of that one. He'd like to have that throw back. Eric Dominguez was the deep man there for Oregon Mountain, who did get beat on that play. So incomplete pass for the Eagles. 4 for 6 in the passing game for a total of 51 yards. A quick screen to the left side. Catch is made on the left sideline, and putting his shoulder down hard to get out of bounds is Evan Ortega. Short carry on that one after the catch. And that's going to be a 4-yard pickup. Dominguez on the tackle for Oregon Mountain. So let's go ahead and give 3 instead to Ortega, his first catch of the ball game. The Eagles now 5 of 7 in the passing department for 54 yards. 3rd down and a long 7 from the 31 of Oregon Mountain left hash. Hobbs up 6-0. Twins left and right. Argot's going to take his time and look both directions, left and right, to check his receivers. Takes a snap. Hand off to Baez, heading right, zigzag, steps outside of the right again to the 25, cuts back to the middle, out to the 20, and continues to bury the pile forward of him. And he'll get the first down pickup, 17 for Diego Baeza. He's got 3 carries for 27 yards now, averaging 9 a pop. And it'll be the 5th first down for the Eagles. Hobbs is now in the red zone. It'll be at the 17-yard line. They still can get a first at about the 8. Clock to 6:13 a ticket in the first quarter. Pair of receivers left, and then a little bobble action. It might have been touched that time by Oregon Mountain for the incomplete pass. So the secondary starting to mix it up just a bit for Oregon Mountain. Had a couple of guys back there deep that time for the Knights defensively, and Xavier Perez looked like the guy that might have got a piece of it. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles, again at the 23-yard line of Oregon Mountain. Hobbs will get 2 receivers left, 1 right, fake the handoff. I know they're going to give it at the last second to Baeza. He gets tripped up in the backfield. He actually able to fall forward for a couple of yards to the right hash. I looked like he ran into Argot in the backfield for just a second there. It looks like he'll give him a yard on the gain for Baeza. Total of 28 yards on 4 carries, 7 every time he touches the football for Baeza. 3rd down and 8 now for Hobbs at the Oregon Mountain 16-yard line. Trips left, receiver right. Argot going to take a little more time here, trying to get his team into the end zone. 2-step drop on the shotgun. The slant route caught at the 5 into the end zone is Van Landingham. And that will be an 18-yard touchdown for Van Landingham to put his numbers in the book. His 4th reception here in the first quarter alone. This one for a touchdown from 18. He's had 4 catches so far for 41 yards in the TD. Eagles are 6 of 9 in the passing departments. As we wait for Chacon to kick the PAT, the first one was bobbled on the snap, and this one's up and good inside the left upright. 5:14 remaining, first quarter. Your Eagles up 13-0 over Oregon Mountain. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live at Watson Stadium, Ty Friend here with you. Jonathan on the microphone, or on the camera, I should say. And back at the station, we got Tiffany Stuber. Hobbs Eagles up 13-0 over Oregon Mountain. 28-yard pass to Trevino and an 18-yard pass to Van Landingham, both from Argot. And I was kind of expecting more of a running attack for the Hobbs Eagles after so much domination that we've seen from some of the teams that the Oregon Mountain squad has faced the last couple of weeks, especially with Carlsbad. But the passing game working well for Hobbs. They've completed 6 so far. A kickoff from Chacon, going to go long down to the 2-yard line. It'll be returned on the right hash down the middle to the 10, 15, far left sideline, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45 in Hobbs territory, 35, 30, and down to the 26-yard line. Unbelievable return on that one. About 70 yards on the return for Oregon Mountain. Eagle just sliding off the return man. So some great field position for Oregon Mountain, who trailed 13-0 here in the first quarter as your Eagles lead with 5:01 remaining. So that'll put the ball at the 30, make that the 28-yard line for the Knights in Hobbs Eagle territory. They get their squad back on the field quickly, the offense. They had 1 possession so far. It ended up in a punt. Logan Tarango back at quarterback. Him and his running back both wearing blue shoes. Turquoise, actually. 2-step drop after the fake down the middle of the post route. Hits the turf at the 5-yard line right at the feet of the intended receiver. Kind of got caught through the seam that time, and that would have been a little bit higher. He might have been going into the end zone. Pass was intended down the middle of the field that time to Luis Garcia. Incomplete. Oregon Mountain is now 1 of 3 in the passing game for just 12 yards. 2nd down and 10 from the Hobbs Eagle 27-yard line. Still 13-0. Twins right, receiver left. Going to go with the handoff around the left end and putting his head down battering ram style and getting out for 5. For Oregon Mountain is Joe Estrada. I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit out of bounds. So Estrada's just going to get 3 on that one. His second carry, total of 9 yards. Make it 4. Second down, or third down and 6 now from the 24. On the left hash are the Knights. Eagles have 4 in the box defensively. Twins right and left. High snap to Tarango. Going to hand around the right end. And getting spun around before he could get outside where he wanted to. Maybe a yard gain on the forward progress that time. And that, once again, is Estrada for about a yard pickup on the forward progress. That third carry for 11 yards. McPherson, the man to wrap up for the Hobbs Eagles, coming around the end. That's going to put Organ Mountain in a pretty bad predicament here. 4th down and a long 4. Definitely going to go for it. The Hobbs Eagles haven't given up any big plays except for the kickoff return. 4th and 4 from the 23. Shotgun. Back to pass. He's going to loft it down to the right corner of the end zone. It's in the air and might have been picked up by the Eagles in the end zone near the left pylon. Yes, it has been picked off for Hobbs defense. So the Hobbs Eagles have just picked off a potential touchdown. So we try to see who that was coming out of the pile now. So Eagles making sure that 6 did not score. The pickoff for the Eagles defensively was Hector Armendariz, the cornerback. So that'll be an INT, a turnover for Organ Mountain. And the Eagles will have the football back at the 20 on the left hash. And, boy, that was a big jump in the air to pull that one down and then fight the receiver in the end zone. Back at shotgun goes Argot. Fakes the reverse, comes around the left end, tucks the football, heads to the near sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench and gets rolled over across the 20 out of the 21. A gain of 1 for Argot. 2 carries for 9 yards so far. 60 yards in rushing for the Eagles on 7 carries. 4:08 remaining. He did get out of bounds and stop the clock. Hobbs up 13-0 here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 9 for Hobbs at the 21 on the left hash. He'll send 2 receivers right and 2 to the left side, bunched up in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Argot wait for the snap. Gives the ball, fakes the ball to Baeza, rolls around the right end on the rush to the 25. Quarterback keeper diving across the 30 and gets the first down, exactly where he needed to be at the 31. That'll be a 10-yard pickup for Argot, his biggest rush of the game. He's got 3 carries for 19 yards, and that'll be the 6th first down for the Eagles. Ball placed at the 32-yard line, middle of the field. Clock at 3:50 left first quarter. Twins left and right in the receiving core. Argot back and shot with Baeza. Man in motion, Van Landingham left to right. They're going to go with reverse, flips him back to the left side. He'll come around the left end, 35, 40. Van Landingham, 45, 50, and brings the wall with him to the 45 for another first down pickup. And that's going to be 23 yards for Van Landingham. That'll be his first rush of the ball game. He's had some catches as well, 4 total and a touchdown. 7th first down for the Eagles. So 23 for Van Landingham, now in Organ Mountain territory on the left hash, 1st and 10 from the 45 of the Knights. Did not get out of bounds, clock running at 3:20. Nose guard looked like he stepped across the line of scrimmage and came back, and that should be a penalty in high school football. You can get back in the pros, but I guess they said he didn't quite come over the football. Argot takes the shotgun, turns and fires a screen, but they do get Baeza with leaning forward before he got the ball snapped to Argot. Baeza came into his pattern from the behind the line of scrimmage and got charged with the false start. I don't know why he didn't call that against the offside penalty first against the nose guard, because he definitely leaned over the football and had his foot actually looked like across the football, and they didn't make the call on that one. So a 5-yard false start penalty, the first of the game for the Eagles for just 5, and it'll back it up to the 50-yard line. First down and 15 from the 50 on the left hash. Hobbs up 13-0 here at Watson Stadium. Next to last district game of the regular season. They will have the visiting contest next week in Carlsbad. Twins left and catch at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and Trevino is dodging everybody for the touchdown. 50-yard play. Caught it about the 20 and then ran it for the rest of the way as he was just going around people left and right. Trevino, unbelievable juke move on that far right sideline for the touchdown. His 2nd of the ball game. 2 catches for 78 yards and a pair of touchdowns. That kid is definitely acrobatic and makes people chew up his dirt as he gets around him. Chacon will kick the PAT here as Hobbs leads 19-0. Good snap, kick is up, and it is good. 2:37 remaining here in the first. Hobbs up 20-0 over Oregon Mountain. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Caden Trevino with his second touchdown of the ball game. 50-yard pass play from Argot, making it 20-0 here at Watson Stadium. Eagles are working on their 8th win of the season and would be a 3-1 record in district, but they still got 3 more quarters to go. Like to make it a mercy roll if possible. Long road trip for Oregon Mountain. As we get ready for the kickoff for Chacombe for the 3rd time tonight after scoring opportunities for the Eagles. So big game, and so far in the passing department for the Eagles, 4 catches for Van Landingham, 2 for Trevino, 2 TDs for Trevino, and 1 for Van Landingham. Chacombe with the onside kick to the far left is going to be rolled on the ground and brought down at the 45, so good recovery for Oregon Mountain on that one, as scooping it up with 2 hands and rolling over like a bear, Francisco Alvarado for the Knights. But they will have some good field position. Of course, this has been kind of a sad season for Oregon Mountain as they lost one of their players, their senior linebacker, as he played against Deming back on August 26th and went down with an injury and unfortunately passed away about 3 weeks later in September. Blunt force trauma is what the medical office declared this past week, and a very unfortunate situation. We'll talk more about that as the game comes along. There's a fumble at the line of scrimmage, or at least the ball went on the ground, and it looked like a recovery made in the backfield. Looking to see who that was. Looks like the quarterback did come up with it, Logan Tarango. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards on the play for the quarterback on a bobbled snap. That was Abraham Romero I was talking about, the 17-year-old senior. Of course, that's been a very sad situation for the team throughout the season. They're still continuing to play, and, of course, some big road trips for them as well. But, again, we'd like to think about the family as we continue in this game. And, of course, Romero, one of their best players on the squad. Handoff up the middle to Joe Estrada. He gets out across the 45, close to the 49-yard So he gets a total of 6. That's his 4th carry of the game for 17. Back to pass Tarango on the double step. Throws the out route to the 40 in Hobbs territory, but overthrows his receiver about 2 yards high in the air. So incomplete on that one as the pass was intended for Isaiah Garcia. Eagles had some great coverage at the cornerback position on that far right sideline. Jeremiah Hawkes for the incomplete pass. So now Oregon Mountain has dropped to 1 for 5 in the passing game for just 12 yards. And they're back in another punt situation. 4th down and 6th from the Eagles, or make it from the Oregon Mountain 49-yard line. Take a little bit of time here to get the snap. The Eagles have put 4 in the box defensively. Snap's good. The kick from the 39-yard line, kind of a wobbler, heads to the near sideline. Is going to take a roll towards the Hobbs Eagle bench at the 15 and rolls out. No chance for return. And thinking about it for just a second, but couldn't get a grab on it on the sideline, was Hector Armendariz. But the Hobbs Eagles getting their 4th possession of the game. They lead 20-0 here in the first quarter with 1:32 remaining. Coming off a 28-yard touchdown pass to Trevino, 18-yard pass to Van Landingham, and a 50-yard pass to Trevino once again for all 3 passing touchdowns. Hobbs taking care of business all over the place. 41 yards of receptions for Van Landingham, 78 for Trevino, and a catch for 3 for Ortega. There have been 2 drop balls so far, 2. One of those was for a touchdown possibly, and even Ortega had a chance to catch one along with Van Landingham for scores. Twins left and right, 1st down and 10 from the 17 of the Eagles on the left hash. Argot and shotgun with Baez in the backfield. 3 in the front box for Oregon Mountain. He'll throw the screen route to the far right side, caught at the 15 to head to the 20, 25, spinning around, backpedaling towards the 1st down marker. There's a flag thrown late on the play. That was Hawkes who made the catch on the far sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. But it looks like might be a hold on that far sideline. We'll have to wait and see if it's against the Eagles. Officials having a little communication there on that far side. Came real late on the play as he was backpedaling. Yep, holding penalty against the Eagles. So that'll be a 10-yarder. That'll be the second penalty of the game for 15 total. So that'll back it up behind the original line of scrimmage. So I'm going to mark it back to the 14-yard line. That'll be a first down and 13 now for the Eagles. Again, they lead 20-0. Just one missed PAT here in the first quarter of action. Trying to get the chains reset here are the referees. Actually switching footballs out now. So I wonder if Hobbs had to play one down without their right football. They threw the ball from the Oregon Mountain sideline, though. So first and 13 now, the shotgun for Argot. Twins left, two receivers right, a man in motion right to left. Fake the handoff. No, they do give it at the last second. It's Trevino heading to the left sideline, and he's going to get shoved out. Had two white jerseys on top of him and knocked down at the 15. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage or maybe a half a yard gain on the play as he was walloped to the sideline by Diego Gonzalez for Oregon Mountain. So back to the 15. 1 yard pickup for Trevino. So 2 carries for 24 so far. He always loves those reverses. Second down and about 11 and a half now for the Eagles at the 15-yard line on the left hash. Argot takes the shotgun, gives the ball off to Baeza, angle right to the 20, and just thrown across the turf that time. Slip and slide action. And they'll give him about 4 on that carry for Baeza. He's got 5 carries so far for 32 yards. Clock down to 53 seconds left in the first quarter, and your Eagles up 20-0 over Oregon Mountain. Ball now at the 22-yard line with a third down and 6. Pair of receivers right and left. Argot going to take the shotgun snap with a clap. One-step drop. Throws the slant route, caught at the 30, breaking a tackle, Trevino, 35, and down to the 40-yard line. Might have been shy. No, the ball might have come out loose forward. It's a fumble and recovered by Oregon Mountain. That would have been a 15-yard pickup, but unfortunately Trevino got the ball punched out in front of him and goes forward and picked up by Oregon Mountain at the 45. So go ahead and grant the 15 yards for Trevino on the catch and the run on top of that. But the fumble forward gives the football back to Oregon Mountain. That'll be the first turnover of the ball game for the Eagles off the fumble. And that'll give it to Oregon Mountain at the Eagle 45-yard line on the left hash. So bad turn of events there for the Eagles. Tarango gets his team ready. The quarterback, get a late player coming into the receiving corner, making a trips right, receiver left look for the Knights. Shotgun, Tarango fakes the handoff. He wants to run it around the right end, tucks it, and gets smashed hard at the line of scrimmage. Talk about a bullet that time coming through. And I don't think he got any yards on the play, but he got a bullet in the chest applied by C.J. Romero, the strong safety. No gain on the play for Tarango, but he's got a helmet dent in the middle of the chest plate. So Tarango, he's -2 in rushes. He had a -2 to start and a 0 on that one. That will end the first quarter of action. He's seeing some stars as he leaves the field. We'll go to the second. Your Eagles up 20-0 here at Watson Stadium over Oregon Mountain. Be back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back to live action, second quarter. Eagles up 20-0 over Oregon Mountain. The Knights second down and 10 from the 45. They throw the quick screen pass to the left sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Isaiah Garcia coming down with it, and he's going to be lucky to get across the line. as he was wrapped up quickly by the Hobbs Eagle D. That was Nathan Cerceris, the cornerback, right for the Hobbs Eagle bench on the left sideline. 1 yard possibly on that play. It's about it for Oregon Mountain. They actually don't give him any yards on the play. Was a reception, though, for the Knights. They're 2 of 6 in the passing game. Rolling right now, the quarterback, Tarango, throws it on the run. The out route, overthrows, but it goes to another receiver on the tip. Catch made at the 29-yard line. That's going to be a 17-yard reception. Looked like it might have went off the hands of one receiver first. As the catch was made, I believe, by Juan Garcia. So Garcia coming up with the big one for 17. And that'll be a first down catch, second first down. 3 for 7 in the passing game for Oregon Mountain. 1st and 10 from the 28 of the Eagles. They're going to go the handoff and get wrapped up quickly after a 3-yard, maybe 2-yard pickup with just a draw play on that right hash. They're going to give 2 yards to Estrada. He's got 5 carries so far for 18 yards. 2nd down and 8 for Oregon Mountain at the Eagle 26-yard line. They're in good field position at this point because of an unfortunate fumble for the Eagles late in the first quarter. 2nd down and 8 from the 26 on the right hash for Tarango. Good shotgun. Handoff up the gut once again to Estrada as he faked the pass to the left. Just kind of barrels himself ahead and gets about a 2-yard pickup. Getting some short pickups there up the middle. Wrap up for the Eagle defense that time. Coming up from the linebacking core was Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker. So Estrada getting 3 on that carry. 3rd down and 7. Make it 6. Shotgun, Tarango coming around the left end after the handoff, but met in the backfield. And that's going to be a 3-yard loss on the play. Not much going on that time. And after the tackle for a loss, the foot sweep, be a 3-yard loss. The tackle from C.J. Romero on top of Fabian Lazoya. They're going to say 2-yard loss on the play. So Lazoya now -4 on 2 carries so far in this contest. 4th down and 8 now for Oregon Mountain from the Eagle 26 on the left hash. Under 10 minutes left, second quarter. Your Eagles up 20-0 over Oregon Mountain. Twins left and right. Triangle on the shotgun. Back to pass on a 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to fire a fade route. Spiral to the left corner of the end zone. It's loose and knocked out of the way. Out of bounds on the back line. Good swat at the football. Good back pedal there by the Hobbs Eagle defense. And the man with the hand on the football for the Eagles, leaning back, Jordan Chisholm, the safety. And that will be the 4th down play that does not come for fruition for Oregon Mountain. Looks like the officials are remarking the football for, I guess they're going to put it back at the 26-yard line. So incomplete for Oregon Mountain. Now here come the Eagles with their offensive set here. They got trips left, receiver right, 1st and 10 from their own 26, leading 20-0. Oregon will take the shotgun. 2-step drop, stays pocket, fires the fade route to the left side. Beautiful spiral over the shoulder. Diving attempt to the catch to the 40-yard line in Oregon Mountain territory was Van Landingham. Boy, he had his body sprawled out Superman style that time and just barely missed the outside of the fingertips. Incomplete, putting his body on the line. Eagles are 8 of 12 in the passing game. Of course, Van Landingham with 4 catches so far for 41 yards. 93 for his teammate, Caden Trevino. They combined for 3 touchdowns so far. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 26. Twins left and right in the receiving core. Argot going to take a little bit more time on the snap count now. 3 on the box for Oregon Mountain. Going to go with the fake handoff coming around the end as the QB. Fumbles the football, does Argot as he tucked it under his bicep, and it comes out on the near sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. He gained 6 on the play and fumbled to Oregon Mountain. They're going to see if they're going to count this as a fumble, and are we going to have a timeout, official timeout, as we have a flag on the field before the fumble, it looks like. So maybe we won't have a turnover here. Let's wait and see. That was a 6-yard pickup, though, for Argot on the quarterback keeper. And there, the Oregon Mountain team is pointing towards the Eagles on a hold. I'm sure they're going to decline that to take the football back on the turnover. That's the 2nd fumble for the Eagles here in the first half, and giving Oregon Mountain the ball right back where they don't want it to be, close to the red zone. It'll be at the 33-yard line. Eagles not protecting the football in those 2 fumbles, and it's costing them. Argot does have 4 carries for 25 yards. Baeza, 5 carries for 32 yards and 2 carries for 24 for Trevino. Van Landingham has a carry for 23. So lots of guys getting a piece of the pie in this first half on the ground. 1st and 10 for Oregon Mountain now at the Eagle 33-yard line. Hobbs up 20-0. Twins right, receiver left for the Knights. As Tarango drops back in shotgun. Got a single setback behind him, Joe Estrada. Estrada will get the fake hand up. No, he does take it at the last second. Barrels ahead, gets across the 30, and goes down at the 29. That'll be a 4-yard pickup. Takes about 2 minutes to get everybody piled out of the mosh pit there. And the man that gets Estrada after a few-yard pickup for the Eagles was Andre Alvarado. So 3-yard pickup for Estrada. 25 yards on the ground so far on 7 carries. 2nd down and 6 for the Knights from the 29. They're going to do the screen pass deflected in the backfield and getting a big paw on top of the football. Coming straight at the quarterback Tarango that time was Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker. Big body going up, the arm taking a piece out of the leather. Incomplete. They're now 3 of 9 in the passing game so far are the Knights. 3rd down and 6 now for Oregon Mountain at the 29 of the Eagles on the left hash. Clock stopped at 8:53 left, 2nd quarter, and Hobbs holding on to a 20-0 lead here at Watson Stadium. Trips right, receiver left. Back in shotgun goes Tarango. Right behind him is Estrada, the running back. He's going to head out to the right flat. Back to pass, 3-step drop. Dump into the line of scrimmage. The catch is made, but a major mess on defense coming through to put a blistering shot. What a complete helmet to middle of the chest plate attack that time by Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker. Talk about an ugly mess after that play. The catch was made by Eric Dominguez, but he pays the price. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, though. Ugly, ugly mess that time. Is a reception. Can't even believe he had onto the football. Kenyon Singleton, that's why he leads the team in tackles. That time a complete mauling, if you want to call it that. He just put his head down and went hard, and Dominguez is going to be getting some vapor rub on that chest as he leads to the sideline. And they're going to try a field goal attempt here from the 39. It'll be a 49-yard field goal. Kick is up, and the kick is just short and out to the right of the field goal post. But, boy, that's the longest field goal attempt we have seen this season coming off the foot. And even the Hobbs Eagle fans having to applaud that attempt. Nathaniel Chavez for Oregon Mountain. Hobbs Eagles will get it back. Turnover on downs. Hopefully not turning the ball over again. They've had 2 fumbles here in the first half. One at the end of the first and one here in the second. 8:08 remaining here in the second quarter. It's 20-0. 2 touchdowns for Trevino and 1 for Van Landingham off the arm of Argot. Ball back at the 20. As that ball did go into the end zone. Automatic touchback with no returns in high school football, of course. Eagles will send 4 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Shotgun for Argot by his lonesome in the backfield. Takes a snap, goes into the left flat, catch is made, brought across the 20, 25. Hawkes keeps going, 30, breaks the tackle, spinning all the way, and out too close to the 35-yard line. So 15 yards on the play. Let me double-check the number on that one. It might have been somebody else out there. Let me check. That was a 15-yard pickup. That might have been Armendariz. I think it was. So Armendariz with 15 yards, his first catch of the game. 8 first down, 9th reception out of 13 attempts for the Eagles. And they'll have it now at the 37-yard line. Twins left and right for the Eagle receivers. Pump fake. Argot going to take it up the middle. Zigzag, spins at the 40 and thrown down forward for a couple extra yards. 5-yard pickup. I don't know if that was a broken play or not, but did get slown down for a few extra yards. So 4 for Argot. Actually going to give him more like 7 on the play. So second down and 3 now from the 44. Shotgun, Argot. Hands the football on around the left end. Here goes Baeza, 50, 45, 40, and gets his knees taken out as he dives forward. Gets the first down pickup. See where the knees did go down. It's going to be at least 17 to make it 18 possibly. Waiting for the official to put this thing down. No, they're going to move it up even further. Make it 21 for Diego Baeza. His biggest rush of the game. He had a 17-yarder in the first quarter. 9 first down for the Eagles. 53 yards on the ground, 6 carries so far for Diego Baeza. Again, the 9th first down. Eagles knocking at the door once again at the 35 of the Knights. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun. Razargot checks his left wristband along with Baeza too. He's going to shift over to the right shoulder now of Argot. Give the ball to Baeza up the middle, cuts right, cuts back inside of the 30, 25, and goes down for the first down. These guys know where the first down marker is at all times. He gets exactly 10 yards falling forward for the first down. 10 first downs for the Eagles. 63 yards on the ground for Baeza on 7 carries. 9-yard a pop for Baeza. Now at the 25, or make it the 24 of Oregon Mountain. So actually give him 11 on that carry. Trips right, receiver left. Faked it to Baeza, throw it to the curl route to the 15. Catch is made. Hawkins breaks the tackle, 10, 5, and into the end zone. Keeps upright and scores. 19-yard to make it 24-yard touchdown reception for Hawkins. First score of the second quarter, and the Eagles would like to get this thing in mercy roll before the half. 4 touchdown passes from Argot, this one for Hawkins. He is the 3rd receiver to score this game so far against Oregon Mountain as we await the PAT from Chacon. Waiting for the snap. We might have a whistle. Yes, we did, to stop the action. As getting the ball down in time was Justin Black, but they blow the whistle on that. Didn't see the flag until after that, but the whistle will stop the play. False start, 5-yard penalty for the Eagles. That's a total of 3 for 20 yards so far on the handkerchiefs. Well, out of a total of 5 penalties combined with Oregon Mountain. So Eagles up 26-0 here in the second quarter with 5:36 remaining, pinning the PAT. They'll back it up to the 8-yard line. And the kick will be from the 15, so that's about a 25-yard PAT/field goal now for Chacon. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:36 left, second quarter. Hobbs extending their lead to 26-0 over Oregon Mountain. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Eagles with a big lead here at Watson Stadium, their final district home game at Watson. Of course, they probably get a playoff game as well. Eagles looking for a top 4 seed, which would get them a bye in the first round of the playoffs. In a good position right now as they're ranked 4th in both the Max Preps poll and the state coaches poll. Talk a little bit more about the playoff situation at halftime. It's his senior night as well. All the seniors were introduced at the beginning of the ball game and the pregame, and the parents out on the field, the family members as well. So that was a pretty exciting event to start the action. Big halftime show coming up for Mr. Cheney and the Hobbs marching band. Here's the kickoff for Chacon from the 40, and this thing is a end over end, and it will go back to the end zone. It is caught, but a backpedal will be an automatic touchback. So no chance for return on that one. Some people argue that we should have returns in high school football, but that's just for college and the pros. Clock is down to 5:35 left, second quarter. Eagles have given up the ball twice on fumbles and given good field position on top of that. But Oregon Mountain could not take advantage of it. They tried a big field goal, 40-some yarder, but weren't able to convert on that. And then also went for it on a 4th down with a pass that got deflected on the back line, incomplete. So 2 possessions have been heading towards the red zone, but Nothing but stoppage by the Hobbs Eagle defense. 1st and 10 now for Oregon Mountain at their own 20. Again, trailing 27-0. They'll go with the handoff to the left side and drop down helicopter style in the backfield. Going to be about a 4-yard loss. And that was Joe Estrada, the ball carrier. Bunch of guys getting in for the Eagles. And Haynes is the man that gets in there first for the wrap-up and got some help from some other black and golds. Loss of 2 on the play for Estrada. That's his first negative run of the contest. In the backfield, got dropped down. 2nd down and 12 now from the 18. Middle of the field. Twins left. Receiver right for the Knights. Shotgun. Back to pass Taronga. Throws the slant. Caught at the 24. And stops dead short on that as he is hit hard right in the chest by the Hobbs Eagles. And takes a wind out of him as well. As he took a big shot from Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker, and he's going to stay down. That will be a 5-yard pickup, but I guarantee you that helmet took out the air out of the lungs that time as he is writhing in pain on the flat on the ground at about the 23-yard line. That's where they're going to mark the ball. We're going to take a break. This is going to take a few minutes for the training staff to come out. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle football. They lead 27-0 over Oregon Mountain back in 60.
Seriously.
Well, the Oregon Mountain injury is Eric Dominguez, definitely a guy they don't want to lose because last year he had 6 catches for 53 yards against the Hobbs Eagles, and he's definitely one of their better receivers out there. He got hit hard in the chest by the Eagle linebacker, and unfortunately Kenyon Singleton sure doesn't feel great about that, having to see him leave the field, but still excellent attack there on the defensive side. But he's going to be helped off by 2 therapists over there to take him off to the sideline. So that was a 5-yard pickup. Shotgun to Trongo on a 3rd down and 5. Going to loft it down the middle of the seam route. Up for grabs. It's picked off for the Eagles at the 45. Brought across and returned for Hobbs to the 30. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. And in for the touchdown is Hector Armendariz. Armendariz with the INT and the score. Boy, the lights are going off here. Flashing off and on. And Hobbs Eagle fans are lighting it up. That was picked off around the 40-yard line, so about a 60-yard return for the touchdown for Hector Armendariz. Extends the lead to 33-0. We're 2 points away from Mercy Roll clock. They're trying to get the ball out there to get switched out because that was a pick 6 ball for the Hobbs Eagles, so they have to get their offensive ball out there for the kick for Chacon. So Black will be the one that will hold it for the Eagles. He gets the ball that he wants. Fans are fired up here at Watson Stadium. Snap was a little bit to the right, but they do get it down. Kick is up and good. 4:26 left here in the second. The Eagles 1 point away from Mercy Roll. 34-0 over Oregon Mountain. We're back in 30 seconds live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Fair play. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Big blowout going on so far for the Hobbs Eagles, up 34-0 over Oregon Mountain. A approximate 60-yard interception return, a pick six for Hector Armendariz to rack up some more points on the scoreboard for the Eagles. That's the second INT thrown by Tarango in this game. They also punted and turned over on down so far after a missed field goal. Eagles have had 2 turnovers themselves, but they have not let up any points on the scoreboard for Oregon Mountain. And 2 scoring drives were getting close for the Knights. They'll have another opportunity to try to score here with 4:26 remaining as Chacon gets things teed up. He's been drilling some pretty long balls on these kickoffs. Hobbs has scored 5 times in this game. 4 off passes and 1 off the pick six from Armendariz. Here comes the kickoff as Chacon gets a little bit tired in this ball game. This is going to be a nice spiral, and it clicks down about the middle part of the end zone for an automatic touchback. That kid definitely has a good booming leg. He is a soccer player as well. So automatic touchback, 20-yard line for Oregon Mountain. Of course, they're in the basement of the district at 0-3 right now. Eagles at 2-1, currently in second behind Centennial, who is undefeated. So far, Oregon Mountain has not done too bad against some of the same common opponents. In fact, they only lost to Las Cruces High by 10, 31-21, a team the Eagles beat by 16. And only lost by 7 to Rio Rancho, who's ranked 5th in the state of the 6A. So that's a pretty good game there, although Rio Rancho's trying to get themselves back in business for the playoffs. Twins right, receivers to the left for Oregon Mountain. Back to shotgun is Tarango. And back with him on the left shoulder is Estrada. He's going to hand off to Estrada up the middle. Breaks a tackle 30 and gets the first down. Looks like more than that to make it 14 on the carry. I think they've inserted a new running back there. It's Lozoya that gets that one. Actually, he has carried 2 times, but was -4 on those. That was for 12 to move the chains for Lozoya. Third first down for the Knights. 1st and 10 now from their 34. Clock to 3:58 left, second quarter. Hobbs up 34-0. Shotgun to Tarango. Back again to Lozoya up the gut. The wall's there for the Eagles. He does get forward about 2 yards on the power play. But there's a big lineup there for the front defenders to put him down to the turf. Hey, when you try to go up one-on-one against the big man up front, you're going to have some problems. And we're talking about Oliver Hill, 5'9", 315, the defensive tackle. The big Mambo up front just completely slaughtered him on the line of scrimmage. That is a 2-yard gain. Somehow got ahead for a couple. Back to pass. They throw it in the right flat. Little quick out, and that's going to be about a yard gain on the play. But, boy, another deadly hit for the Hobbs Eagle linebacker. He's been doing it before, doing it again. Kenyon Singleton. These guys are paying the price for their catches for very short yardage. Got to put a pillow in that chest protector there. Double check the number on that. I believe that was 86. Making 88, Julian Gonzalez with the reception. Go with the handoff up the middle. Lozoya using his blockers ahead, just kind of powering forward. He's going to get another 7, make it 6 for the first down. Apparently, maybe the knee went down just shy of that first down marker. I'm going to say 5 for Lozoya. Started to give him the ball quite a bit here late in the second quarter. His last 3 carries have been positive yardage for 19. First down pickup, 4th first down for the Knights. Ball at the 44-yard line, middle of the field. Clock to 2:40 left in the first half. Twins left and right. Tarango kind of dancing around in the backfield. 2-step drop out of the shotgun. Throws the out route near the first down marker. A lot of mass confusion going on out there as the cornerback and the receiver both swatted the football. Some good pressure being applied for the Hobbs Eagle defense on that far sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. That was Zayden McPherson. And once again, they were trying to throw out to 88. That's Julian Gonzalez, incomplete. Second down and 10, handoff up the gut. The pile's moving just a bit, maybe 3 yards if that. Simple dive action up the middle. Take a few seconds to get everybody unraveled here. That's Lozoya again. Bunch of Hobbs Eagles in that pile, too, to bring him down quickly. Andre Alvarado was one of them cutting out of the pile. 6 foot, 260, another big man. So Lozoya picks up 2. 3rd down and 7 now for Oregon Mountain. About the whole left side of the line, jumping for the Hobbs Eagles on the hard count. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Eagles. That'll be the 4th penalty of the ball game for 25 yards against the black and gold. And looks like Hobbs Eagle coaching staff going to pull out some of their front linemen to get a breather here and get themselves back in it mentally. Still waiting for the umpire to move the ball up forward here. It's going to make it real close to the first down. It's going to be about 3rd down and 1, about 1.5 or so for the first down for Oregon Mountain. They'll have it in Hobbs Eagle territory now at the 48-yard line. They need to get to about the 46, a little bit past the 46-yard line. So about 2.5 yards on this one. Put a man in motion right to left. The pitch on the reverse. In the backfield, nothing doing. A big loss on the play. And getting through there hard and putting them down in the dirt to make it the field turf, Andre Alvarado. And that's going to be an 8-yard loss back to the original line of scrimmage. Make it 9 on the reverse, as that was Manuel Lamonis, the wide receiver, coming around that time. So -9 on the play. Nothing doing. Big bear hug in the backfield that time for the Hobbs Eagles. Get through hard as Alvarado. So 4th and 10 now for Oregon Mountain. Timeout on the field. 4th down for the Knights. 1:46 remaining. We'll keep it right here. Hobbs Eagles 1 point away from Mercy Rule. I think they would like to get that before halftime. The clock would run in the 3rd quarter. Again, Oregon Mountain did have 2 scoring drives heading pretty close to the red zone, but nothing getting in the end zone or the field goal for Oregon Mountain. Of course, we'll have your final regular season game next week at Carlsbad, and if they do, the Eagles win this one and next week, they're more than likely to get a top 4 seed, which would give them a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Anything lower than a 4 would mean that they would have a home game on the weekend of November 4th, which would be a Friday. Most teams would have to travel here for more than a couple hours, so they probably have to play Saturday the week after next. Punt situation here for Oregon Mountain as the winds pick up a little bit. This will be the 2nd punt of the ball game, and it'll be kicked from the 33-yard line. A high sailing one. Fair catch at the 25 for the Eagles, and they're not going to want to bring that one back. Some good coverage here for Oregon Mountain as Hector Armendariz, who's already run a pick 6 back for a touchdown, is the one that comes up with the catch. So Eagles will have a 138. Kind of anxious to see if Coach Ken Stevens will decide to try to put some icing on the cake before the half to get to that mercy roll situation. 34-0 at this point. Need to get to 35 to have that clock run in the 3rd quarter. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Argot back in shotgun. Forefront for Oregon Mountain. We got a bunch of movement going on, and a flag's going to be flying before everybody gets set here. I'm not sure what the call is, but both line judges do throw flags. So it looks like it's against the Eagles. Somebody was lined up in the neutral zone for a 5-yard penalty. That's their 5th penalty for 30 yards. Trips right, receiver left once again for the 20. Another stoppage now. Don't see a flag this time, but a timeout going to be called for Coach Castile and Oregon Mountain. 1:35 left in the half. 34-0 Eagles over Oregon Mountain. We'll be back in 60 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Hobbs Eagles 1st and 15 from their own 20-yard line. The curl route at the 30-yard line bounces off the chest protector, incomplete, getting up high on top of two defenders on the far left sideline. Unfortunately, couldn't gather it in that time for the Eagles. The receiver, Evan Ortega, on the incomplete. Hobbs has converted on 9 passes out of 14 attempts. 2nd down and 15 from the 20, leading 34-0. Eagles go at the screen route right, caught at the 17, brought to the 20, angling right to the 25 and out of bounds. As the pickup for the Eagles by Saul Armendariz. Looks like he gets back the penalty yard, so 5 for Armendariz. Second catch for 20 in the ball game total. That'll be the 10th reception on 15 attempts. 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 25 on the right hash. Clock with 1:25 remaining. It's stopped due to getting out of bounds. 34-0. Fake the handoff. Back to pass. The curl route caught at the 35, spinning to the 40, and run out of bounds at the 44. That is Trevino for 19 yards, and a great job to get out of bounds and stop the clock. He knew what he was doing on that one. So Trevino now, his 4th catch for double digits. That's for 19. He's got a 28, 50-yarder, both of those touchdowns, a 15, and now a 19. 11 first downs for the Eagles, their 11th reception. 1st and 10 now for the 45 on the right hash. Still on their side of the field with 1:14 left in the half. Shotgun, fake the handoff, 2-step drop, curl route at the 45, going up over the top of the high jump bar, coming down flat on his back with a catch. Van Landingham, talk about acrobatic. That's 10 yards exactly at the 45. Make it 11 at the 44 for Oregon Mountain. Van Landingham's 5th catch of the ball game and the 12th first down. Hurry up offense. 1st and 10 from the 44. Shotgun Argot. Fake with a pump fake. Down the far left sideline over the shoulder, but overthrows his receiver who is wide open that time. And I believe that was Van Landingham again. They're not going to let this kid rest for even a second. Incomplete, though, for the Eagles, and the defender nowhere to be found on that far left sideline. On the loft out there for the Eagles. Actually, I believe that wasn't thrown to Van Landingham. That was Evan Ortega. 2nd down and 10 now from the 45. Clock stopped at 58. Shotgun low. The screen route caught by Trevino, middle of the field to 35. Stutter step, dives forward. He gets another first down. He knows where that first down marker is on the far left sideline. 11 yards on the catch for Trevino. 13 first downs. 13 completions, 18 attempts, and a 1st and 10 from the 34. Twins left and right, shotgun low on the ground, picked up by Argot. He'll fire the post route down the middle of the 10, down to the 5, breaks a tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. 34 yards on the reception by Hawkins. His 2nd touchdown of the game. Unbelievable. Dodging, going around people, in stride, and a score. Eagles now with the mercy roll lead of 40-0. Trying to make it 41 here. So Hawkins getting the job done. His 2nd touchdown here in the 2nd quarter. Snap to Black, kick is up, and it is good for Chacon. 25 seconds left in the first half. Your Eagles up big, 41-0 over the Oregon Mountain squad that is having some trouble on the road. We'll be back in 30 seconds on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Shutout football here at Watson Stadium, 41-0. Your Hobbs Eagles leading over Oregon Mountain. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, 3 offensive touchdowns in the second quarter, but 1 pick six, and your Eagles up big, completely taking apart Oregon Mountain. A 34-yard pass play from Argot to Hawkins for his 2nd TD in the second quarter. Gives the Eagles a mercy roll lead. Is Chacon going to be kicking off another time? 7th time of the ball game he'll be kicking off for the Eagles. from the 40, and he's going to boom it again, end over end, and it will drop 2 yards into the end zone for the automatic touchback. Now, the first part of the season, the Eagles are dropping them short, but as the season progressed, we started to see Coach Stevens wanting to extend those kicks, and it has worked very well for the coverage. So to give one more hurrah for Oregon Mountain, but they only have 25 seconds to deal with and a 41-0 deficit here in the second quarter. So we're going to have to wait to see what Oregon Mountain's going to come out with. They've only completed a total of 5 passes so far. Actually 6 total, one of them for 0 yards. Their longest a 17 and a 12-yarder. So they are 5 of 12 in the passing game. 1st and 10 from the 20 on the right hash. Tarango in shotgun. Going to go with the handoff, angle right, and just drag some people with him. Not very much on the play. Maybe some forward progress on that one for the Hobbs or for Oregon Mountain. That was Cameron Hernandez with the quick wrap-up. And that was not Hawkes. That was Estrella. He gets 2 yards on the play. Clock to 5, and I don't think they're going to try to run another play. They're going to be happy with a 41-0 deficit. Your Hobbs Eagles up big here at Watson Stadium at the half. Hobbs Eagle Marching Band getting set up here for a great halftime show at Senior Night at Watson. And we'll be back in 3 minutes live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. It's halftime as the Hobbs Eagle Marching Band has got the full field for a big show here going on for Mr. Cheney and the seniors that are on the field as well for senior night. Ty Friend here with you. Jonathan on the camera, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station tonight. Your Hobbs Eagles up big at the half, 41-0 over Oregon Mountain. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half of action. First of all, for the Knights, their leading rusher right now is Estrella. He's got 9 carries for 25 yards. His long is only 6. He's had a couple of those in the first half. Also, Lazoya came in the second quarter with quite a few carries. They ended up 6 of 17. His long was 12. Those are the only 2 guys with positive yardage in the first half. A total of 16 carries for 40 yards through 2 quarters. In the passing game, Tarango 6 of 13 for 38 yards. He's only got 1 player with 2 catches, and that's Dominguez, who went out with an injury. Got a major hit coming in from Kenyon Singleton that put him on the turf. He's only got 2 catches for 5 yards. Garcia 1 for 17. Alvarado 1 for 12. Also getting catches in this game, the big receiver number 88, and he came up with 1 for just 2 yards. That was Julian Gonzalez. Maldonado had 1 catch for 2 yards. So they've had 5 different receivers catching, but nobody with big numbers in the first half. 6 of 13 again for 38 yards. They have attempted a total of 13 passes in the first half. So 40 on the rush, 38 on the pass for 78 yards in the first half of action. Oregon Mountain with 2 interceptions on turnovers, 2 punts in the first half, and 1 turnover on downs off a missed field goal. They've only had 2 penalties in the first half for 10 yards total and 4 first downs. And for your Hobbs Eagles, a lot better number production in the first half. 134 yards on the ground on 16 carries. The leader is Baeza. Diego with 7 carries for 64 yards. 3 of those for double digits, 17, 21, and 11. It was Argot, the QB, 5 carries for 32 yards, a long of 10. Trevino had a couple of reverses, 2 for 24. One of those was for a 23-yarder. And Van Landingham had 1 carry for 23 yards. So 134 yards in the first half on the ground. Eagles had 5 receivers coming up with snags, all at least 1 or more for the Eagles. Jaquez had 2 for 54, both of those for touchdowns from 24 yards and from 30 yards out. Armendariz had 2 catches for 20 yards, a long of 15. Van Landingham with 5 catches for 52 yards, and that included 1 touchdown from 18 and a couple from 11 each. Ortega had a catch for 3, and Trevino with the big numbers in the first half, 5 catches for 123 yards, including touchdowns of 28 and 50, and 3 other double-digit catches of 15, 19, and 11. Unbelievable numbers for Caden Trevino. So 15 of 21 is Argot at the quarterback for 252 yards in the air in the second half. The Eagles just shy of 400 yards in the first half at 386. So unbelievable numbers on both the rushing and passing departments. Hobbs has had a total of 5 penalties in the first half for 30 yards, 2 fumbles given up on turnovers to Oregon Mountain, and have had a total of 13 first downs in the game compared to just 4 for the Knights. Again, your score at the half as we listen to the Hobbs Eagle Marching Band, 41-0, Hobbs leading over Oregon Mountain. We'll take another 3-minute break and come back live with the halftime show here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and on YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page. We're back live at Watson Stadium. The Hobbs Eagle Marching Band just finishing up their halftime performance on senior night. Eagles up big over Organ Mountain, 41-0. I'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle football this season, including the Lee County State Bank, TDS Telecom, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway Grocery, First American Bank of Hobbs, Lasco Construction, Eunice Pump and Supply, NMR Pipeline, the Rent-A-Center, and Devon Energy. Without those great sponsors, Hobbs Eagle football broadcast would not be coming to you live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. And thanks to Tiffany back in the studio. We got some scoring updates for you. Some Lee County action going on. Lovington defeating Albuquerque Academy at the half, 13-7. Of course, that could be the second win in a row for the Wildcats to go to 2-0 in district, and they can continue on with that win. Tatum leads Logan, start of the third quarter, 8-0, and the Tatum Coyotes ranked in the top 10 in the state. And Jowl all over Hagerman. Final score at halftime, Mercy Roll shutdown game, 57-6. So the Panthers, number one in the state, a 51-point winner in that one. Thanks again to Tiffany on those three games here tonight. So lots of Lee County teams looking ahead to the final games of their district schedule. The Eagles, of course, next week to finish up the regular season on the road at Carlsbad. That will be a pivotal game, too, because that could be some playoff implications. We know the Eagles are in, but what seed will they be? A win tonight and then a win next week would probably keep them at number 4 if that does go down the way it should. If you look at the coaches poll right now, currently Eagles at number 4, and they lead over Volcano Vista at 5, Rio Rancho at 6, and that's a good deal because Rio Rancho was defeated by the Eagles earlier this season, so Hobbs would have the advantage versus them if it comes down to a seeding issue. Of course, the question mark is Volcano Vista coming in at that number 5 slot. Volcano Vista currently at 6-2, so they have one more loss than the Eagles, and currently have a 4.6 strength of schedule, which is a little bit lower than what the Hobbs Eagles have at this point on the Max Preps poll. So big question mark there. If you look at the other teams in the top 5, Centennial leads the Max Preps poll with a 6-1 record, but on the top of the coaches poll, it's Cleveland. So they got the same record there. So that's going to be a big decision to be made. They do use the Max Preps poll as part of the decision on the seeding as well as the coaches poll. So they'll have to do some juggling. And again, there's still 2 games with this week and next week left before these polls will be finalized. The Max Preps poll has Cleveland at number 2 behind Centennial. The coaches poll has Centennial at number 2 behind Cleveland. So just a reversal on those 2 teams. Both of the polls have La Cueva at number 3 with a 7-1 record, so you'd kind of think they're going to probably keep them in that spot in those 2 polls, depending on what their last 2 games are. And then, of course, you mentioned the Hobbs Eagles holding solid at number 4 in both of those polls with a 7-1 record currently, and hopefully 8-1 as the game is going right now. So the big question is, where will the final seed be? They will be taking the top 12 teams to the playoffs. 1 through 4, which Hobbs is at number 4 right now, would have a bye in the first week for November weekend of 4th and 5th of November. If they had to get a 5 through 12 seed, they would have to play on that first week of playoffs, and that would be a home game for sure, more than likely a Saturday, November 5th. So that's where it stands at this point, but with the 2 games left on the schedule, that's going to be a big question mark here to see who ends up getting where in terms of what the W's and losses they produce in the next couple of weeks. Well, the Hobbs Eagles' numbers have been exciting this season, averaging 45 points a ball game and already at 41 right now. And we're getting 2 more quarters left here with a running clock very quickly. Hobbs only giving up 20 points a game. And look at the scoreboard now, sitting at 0 for Organ Mountain. We're going to take a final 3.5-minute break as they continue on with the senior announcements here for senior night with the Hobbs Marching Band. Come back with us. Let's make it 4 minutes on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Yes, we're still at halftime here at Watson Stadium. Senior nights, a little bit extra festivities going on with the band being announced with the parents, etc. Hobbs Eagle football team back out on the field now, and they're going to be coasting through the second half, up 41-0 over Oregon Mountain. Hobbs with that second place in district at this point in time. 2-1 record. Centennial leads at 4-0. Carlsbad at 2-1, same record as the Eagles. Las Cruces at 1-2. Alamogordo at 1-3 with the win over Las Cruces, an upset victory. And Oregon Mountain at the bottom of the basement right now at 0-3. Oregon Mountain's been outscored in the district, 60 points for offense and 113 given up on defense overall in their 3 games so far. We mentioned the Eagles completely doing the job offensively. 111 total points, second in the district behind Centennial. And they have the best numbers for defense, only giving up 58 total points in 3 games. That's about 16 a contest, a little bit over 16. That is the best in district, even better than Centennial by 2 points. So definitely a feather in the cap of the Hobbs Eagles coaching staff, with this team definitely doing the job on defense up to this point in time. Again, next week the Eagles will take on Carlsbad, a squad that they beat pretty well last year and kept their W to finish up the season. The Carlsbad Cavemen currently are going to be playing. Let me double-check the schedule on that. I had the wrong schedule pulled up here. What the heck did I do with that? Let's pull up the Hobbs Eagles schedule instead. They're playing Las Cruces tonight. That's their game on the schedule. And then next week, of course, as we mentioned, they will be playing the Hobbs Eagles at home there in Carlsbad. The Cavemen's record currently sitting at 4-4 overall and 2-1 in district, so that will be a pivotal game for them. They're currently sitting at number 9 in, I believe, the coaches poll at this point in time, number 8 in the Max Preps poll. So everything's riding on it for them to make the playoffs, and they would like to go out with a couple of wins. They're taking on Las Cruces, as I mentioned, a team that they definitely could beat. Carlsbad is a team of running the football, that is for sure. They did play Oregon Mountain earlier this season and won 33-26. All 5 of the Carlsbad touchdowns were on the ground, so they definitely love their ground game. But they did give up all 4 of the Oregon Mountain touchdowns in the passing game. So Hobbs Eagle passing game looking pretty brilliant tonight. Love to see that work its magic next week in that road trip to Carlsbad. We're going to take a final 30-second break as the winds start to pick up here in Watson Stadium. Eagles up 41-0 over Oregon Mountain. Come back in 30 seconds. Ready for second half action. Oregon Mountain will return the football on the kickoff with your Eagles up 41-0, but they're going to have to deal with the mercy roll clock as the clock will continue on through the out-of-bounds plays and incomplete passes, etc. Both teams are ready to go, but they forgot to get the football out there, and they finally throw one from the Hobbs Eagles sideline for Chacon to kick from the 40. He's been booting him into the end zone on the last kicks that he's had in this game, and, of course, plenty of those coming on so far for the Eagles. They had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and a total of 3 in the second quarter. Of course, Hawkes with a couple of touchdowns in the second, a 24-yarder, a 33-yarder receptions, and a 55-yarder. Hector Armendariz on a pick 6 to put another touchdown on the scoreboard in the second half. Ready to kick off is Chacon, and he's going to keep it low this time on the roll and take a bounce at the 5. It's scooped up on the far sideline to the 15 to the 20 and run out of bounds. Not much of an attempt to get back much yardage on that one for Oregon Mountain. So close to the automatic touchback zone there across the 20. That return was Joe Estrada. And now it'll be Oregon Mountain football to get this one going from about the 19-yard line. So they probably were just happy that it should have gone to the end zone, and they would have got an extra yard on the play. Mentioned in the first half of action, Oregon Mountain with 134 or a total of 40 on the ground and 38 in the air for 78 total, did not even make the century mark. Go with the handoff up the middle, bounce it off to the left side of the 25, and then falling forward to the middle of the field. So a gain of 7 on the play, as that was Estrada. 10 carries for 32 yards. He is the leading rusher so far for the Knights. 2nd down and 3. Armendariz in on the stop for the Eagles. Brings up a 2nd down and 3 now from the 26. An official timeout called by the line judge here on the near sideline. Look like we have an injured Eagle. And coming off the field now, C.J. Romero, the strong safety. He's going to be replaced as the Hobbs coaching staff gets him off to attend to him. Double checking the number here. Look like 36. We don't have a 36. Might be Xavier Alvarado. The handoff and a spin move coming up the middle, and then a wheelbarrow action as they pick him up on the back of the legs. They do on Joe Estrada. And trying to wheelbarrow him was Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker. He's going to get maybe 2 on that one. So 2 carries for 9 yards here in the third quarter for Estrada. He's got 11 total for 34. 3rd down and 1. A big play here for Oregon Mountain, who trails 41-0 to your Hobbs Eagles. Trends left, receiver right. Shotgun for Tarango. Going to hand it off on the angle right, heading outside of the 30, 35, 40, and that will be a 1st down. 13-yard pickup. Where the lineman lost his helmet, and he is running around like a wild man out there. I'm not sure what he's doing, but it looked like a chicken with his head cut off. So it's going to be Estrada, the one that carried the football that time. And he'll get 8 on the play. That's going to be a total of 17 here in the third quarter. That'll be the 5th 1st down for Oregon Mountain at their own 40-yard line. On the right hash, twins left, receiver right. 4 in the front box for the Hobbs Eagle D. Fake the handoff, dump pass to the left side flat, and spinning around and put down at the 42-yard line. The catch for Oregon Mountain by Francisco Alvarado. They'll give Alvarado 3 as he stumbled backwards, landed on his derriere that time for a 3-yard pickup. 2nd catch for 15 yards for Alvarado. He's got 7 carries and a total of 14 yards. The wrap up by Jackson for the Eagles. 2nd down and 3 now from the 43. Left hash for Oregon Mountain on their side of the field. Pair of receivers right, receiver left. High shotgun snap to Tarango. He's going to let it fly on the far right sideline over the shoulder. Intercepted by the Eagles back at the 25 up the middle. 30, 35, angling to the far sideline right. 40, 45. And there's going to be a blindside block and back to the 44-yard line. The Hobbs Eagles going to get charged of the blindside block as a pickoff for the Hobbs Eagles, ripping it out of the air. Nathan Cerceras, the cornerback, deep for the Eagles at the 25, gets it all the way to the 43-yard line of Oregon Mountain, but that's going to be dropped back for 15 because of the blindside block. You can't take a guy out from the side if you don't have your hands extended and he doesn't see it coming. That's a rule that's been in for the last couple of seasons. So it'll be a 15-yard mark-off from about the 33. So it's going to bring the Eagles quite a ways back. But the INT regardless, the 3rd pickoff of the game against the passing of Tarango. Of course, we had a pick 6 in the 2nd quarter. And definitely exciting stuff there to get into the end zone for the Eagles. And that was Armendariz, 55-yard pick 6. So Hobbs will get it back again, and they're going to try to tack on to their 41-point lead. They only need 9 points to put this one in the books. A 50-point lead is game over for the Mercy Roll in New Mexico. Backs it all the way up to the 17-yard line on the 15-yard penalty. Eagles now with a total of 7 penalties. Waiting for the shotgun now is the quarterback, Argot, but they stop the action before they get the snap. Whitecap's coming to talk to his line judge. There's a flag down on the far sideline near the line of scrimmage. It's a false start against the Eagles. 7 penalties so far for 50 yards. So Hobbs definitely has a lot more penalties than Oregon Mountain, who's only got 2 for 10. Back it up now to the 10-yard line. Make it the 11. So 1st down and 15 now for the Eagles. Again, leading 41-0. Receivers split wide, left and right, 1 apiece. Shotgun for Argot. Hand off to Baez. It cuts left and back up the middle on the zigzag to the 14. So he weaves around 2 yards on that carry. His 8th carry for 66 yards total. He's the leader of the Eagles on the ground. Hobbs looks at the sideline for the play call. 7-1 on the season, 3-5 for Oregon Mountain. 8:16 remaining in the third quarter on the Mercy Roll clock. Sliding from right to left to right is Van Landingham down the slot right. Go with the handoff around the right end. Cutting back to the 20, 23-yard line is Baeza. 7 yards on the pickup for him. Baeza now with 9 carries for 73 yards. Eagles get back up to the line of scrimmage, not giving a lot of time for Organ Mountain to readjust their defense. 3rd down and 5 to go for Hobbs at their own 23. Twins right, receiver left. Argot takes a shotgun snap, handoff to Baeza up the center to the 25, 30. Trying to drag himself for an extra yard to get the first. I think he's got it anyway. He's going to get 7 and move the chains for the Eagles. Back-to-back 7s for Baeza, the 14th first down for the Eagles. 80 yards on the ground for Baeza on 10 carries, 8 a pop. 14 first downs for Hobbs. Argot ready for the shotgun again. Some stunts going on in the defensive front for Organ Mountain as Argot steps up the line of scrimmage with a switch up on the play call, then backs up to the shotgun. Field clock down to 18 now. Handed off to Baeza, heads right, cuts back to the middle, met in the backfield and dropped. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but he is wrapped up quickly for Organ Mountain by Jose Camunez. And we're going to see if they give him any forward progress on this one. Hey, they're going to give him 1 yard to Baeza, which brings his total now to 81. 2nd down and 9 from the 31. Eagles more than happy to let the clock run here before they get their next play going. With 6:20 left in the 3rd, 41-0 your score. Back to shot goes Argot. Has a pair of receivers right, 1 left. 1-step drop. Go with the post route, but he throws it way behind the receiver at the 45. And going on that post route that time was Evan Ortega. So I might have just lost control of the throw because Ortega looked like he had his man beat by a few yards. Incomplete. Eagles are 15 of 22 in the passing game. First half for 252 yards. 5 catches, 123 for Trevino, 5 for 52 for Van Landingham, 2 for 54 for Jaquez, Armendariz, 2 for 20. Boy, all-star numbers for all those kids. 252 total in the first half. Trying to get their first yard of the second half in the air. 2nd down, or make it 3rd down and 9 now from the 31 for the Eagles on the right hash. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Argot will back him and Baeza back in the backfield on the shotgun. 1-step drop. He's going to go with the fade route to the right sideline and gets through the fingertips of the intended receiver. That was Jeremiah Jaquez. And it looked like he might have got pushed at the last second there for a PI. A little bit of a late flag that time on the near right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, but Jaquez shaking his head yes. He likes that yellow handkerchief on the turf. That should be a 15-yard penalty on the PI. As getting a piece of him that time was Joe Estrada. He also plays offense, but he's the cornerback guarding the receiver Jaquez that time. 15 yards against Organ Mountain, their 3rd penalty total for 25. That'll be a first down for the Eagles, their 15th of the ball game. And that, I believe, was been the first penalty since the first quarter for Organ Mountain. Moves the ball to the Eagle 46 on the right hash. Clock is going big time for the Hobbs. 4:27 and counting. A 41-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter on the Mercy roll. Twins left, receiver right. Argot takes the shotgun snap, give to Baeza up the middle in the gap. 50, 45, and drug down to the 42-yard line. Another first down pickup for the Eagles. 12 yards for Baeza. He's had 4 double-digit runs in this ball game. That's his first in the second half for 12, and the 16th first down for Hobbs. 29 yards in the second half, 64 in the first half, 93 total for Baeza on 12 carries. 1st and 10 from the Organ Mountain 42-yard line on the right hash. Slot left for the Eagles, receivers left and right. Fumble on the pitch in the backfield, going to go down with it. Hobbs will recover at the 45. They'll lose 3 on the play. Smart move by Baeza to dive in front of his quarterback, Argot, to cover it up there. So he's going to lose 3 yards, unfortunately, but he does save the ball for the Eagles. They don't want to have their 3rd fumble of the ball game. That'll be his first negative, although for a good cause that time. 2nd down and 13 now from the 45 of the night. So load up 5 in the box. Shotgun to Argot. Back to Baeza up the middle. 45, 40. And he's put down at the 39-yard line. 6 yards for Baeza. Diego's yet to get a touchdown in this ball game, but a 21-yarder and a 17-yarder in the first half, along with an 11-yarder. 3rd down and 3 now for the Eagles at the 39. Again, letting that clock run as much as possible before the next snap at 2:50 and counting. The Mercy Roll clock going on. Pair of receivers left, one to the right side for Argot. Give it right back to Baeza, get up the middle. Tries to head out to the left, and he's swung around hard and thrown down to the left side of the line. He'll be happy maybe to get a forward progress carry that time. Possibly a 1-yard pickup. As he's tackled hard by Fabian Lazoya, the defensive end. So 1 yard for Baeza. Eagles now facing a 4th down and 7 from the 38-yard line, middle of the field there against the Knights defense. 2 receivers head left, one to the right side. Argot back in shotgun with Baeza. Look like they want to pass here. One slot right. Back to pass on a one-step drop. The out route waiting for it to 30. The catch made. Enough for the first down, and he gets those pistons pumping. He'll have a first and then some. It looks like about 12 yards. Beautiful hand and finger work there waiting for the football. Catching it was Jeremiah Hawkes on the near right sideline for 12 yards. Hawkes now with 3 catches for 66 yards. 2 of those in the first half were for touchdowns of 24 and 30. So he wants another TD. Again, 17 first downs for the Eagles, now at the 25 of Oregon Mountain on the right hash. Shotgun, hand out to Baeza, angle right to the 25. Puts on the acceleration and flings down to the 21-yard line. He gets another 4. Very consistent tonight is Diego Baeza. Already 9 carries here in the second half. Clock is definitely a factor against Oregon Mountain as it goes down to 1:08 left in the third quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 41-0 over the Knights. 2nd down and 7 now from the 21 on the right hash. With the slot left, 2 receivers left and a receiver right. Back to Baeza right. He cuts back up the middle. 20, 15, 10. Beats one more man. 5, and then he gets upended and brought down from behind. Well into the red zone now. It's like 16. Yeah, make it exactly 16 there for Diego Baeza. That'll be the 13th first down for the Eagles now at the 4-yard line of Oregon Mountain. Knocking on the door again. Putting another 7 on the board. We're getting up to 48. 2 away from game over at the 50-point Mercy Rule. Twins left, receiver right. Argot. From the 5-yard line. Brings a man in motion left to right. Going to hand it. Fake handoff, give it up the middle again to Baeza. Instead, he rambles in for the touchdown. They fake the reverse going left to right. Let me double check that was Baeza now. A lot of fakes going on in the backfield. Yep, that was Diego Baeza for 5 yards of the touchdown rush. Eagles with their first TD of this third quarter. 5-yard run for Baeza. That's his first touchdown of the ball game on the ground. Waiting for the PAT for Chacon. Kick is up. And the kick is good, as you can hear the cannon here at Watson Stadium. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Eagles 2 points away to put this game in the books. 48-0 over Oregon Mountain. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. It's all black and gold here at Watson Stadium tonight on senior night. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 48-0 over Oregon Mountain. Ty Friend here with you. Jonathan on the camera and Tiffany back at the studio. Already big win for Jal tonight. Mercy Roll win at halftime. Tatum and a big barn burner going on, and also the Lovington Wildcats have their hands full with Academy for a district battle. We'll get you some score updates. Hobbs could be done with this one pretty quickly with just 2 points needed for the Mercy Roll game over situation. Chacon continues to kick and kick and kick in this game. He's done it 8 times so far, 7 of those for touchdowns. This one he's going to send long, end over end, and it will be caught at the 1-yard line and brought back from the 10. Far left sideline, stretching it out and ripped down hard and almost getting his head taken off. They could have got him for a high tackle that time, but that was Oregon Mountain's Isaiah Maldonado, the receiver. And looked like he was getting his head ripped off. It looked like getting hands on the helmet, Hector Armendariz. No call there, not to worry about it now. And they'll get the ball at the 16-yard line. Or actually, no, they're moving it up more. Maybe they did call a penalty on that one. Or no, that's the end of the third quarter. That's why they're moving the football to the other end. I was going, that looked like a pretty long penalty past the 15-yarder. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Your Eagles up 48-0 over Oregon Mountain. Half a minute, we're back live with Hobbs Eagle football. Lovington leading Albuquerque Academy 19-14 in the third quarter in Lovington. Shotgun snap to Triangle, hands off left end, 15-20, down to the 24-yard line for a first down pickup. 14 on the rush that time. They're going to call that with Estrella. Or correction, that was, it was Estrella. He got 14 on that one for the first down. That'll be the sixth first down for the Knights here in the ball game. They have it at the Eagle or make it their own 24-yard line on the left hash. But they trail 48-0. Twins right, one receiver left for the Knights. As Tarango waits for the shotgun with the slot left. Hands the ball off up the middle. Estrella breaks a tackle, stripped away from another, diving across the 30-yard line on the left hash. And he'll get 7 on that one. He had 9 carries for 25 at the half. He's added 38 here in the second half, is a total of 63 now on 14 carries. Second down and 8 now for the Knights at their own 32-yard line. Again, the clock continues to run with the mercy roll, even out of bounds, and on incomplete passes. They've only completed one pass in the second half for 3 yards. Go with the handoff again, angling left, breaks the tackle, 35, then tries to go up in the air and gets a helmet right in the gut. But it will be a 6-yard pickup again for Estrella. We'll move the chain. 7th first down for Oregon Mountain. Bunch of guys helping out that time for the Hobbs Eagles. Looked like initial contact for the Eagles, right in the gut. Double check who that was. They're going to go with a quick pass in the left flat. The catch made at the 40-yard line. Going to be a short one, but using the big body to dive forward for about 3 total. That was Francisco Alvarado. So Alvarado gets about 3, stretching his body flat on the ground. Second catch in the second half for 6 total. He's got 3 catches on the night for 18. He's a leading receiver at this point. Pretty minimal, though. That'll be the 8th catch of the ball game on 15 attempts for Oregon Mountain. Second down and 7 from the 42. Twins right and one receiver left. Give the delay handoff around the right end to the 45. 50 backpedaling. And get his butt down just shy of the 50. That'll be close to the first down, about an 8-yard pickup. Nice little backpedal job there. And that time, new running back was entered. I believe that was Jose Camunez who gets the 8. And that'll be another first down for Oregon Mountain. They're 8th of the ball game. They'll be right at the 50-yard line on the right hash are the Knights. Eagles have 4 in the box. Handoff up the gut, stutter step to the 45 of the Eagles in their territory and brought down 2 yards shy of the first down to the right hash. Estrella's going to get the 8. As coming up to meet him, helmet to helmet that time, get low. Xavier Alvarado. Ball marked at the 41.5-yard line of the Eagles on the right hash. Down to 8:46 on the clock. Eagles up 48-0. Twins left, receiver right. Give the handoff again to Estrella left. He tries to power it back up the middle and is going to push the pile for the first down. Gets 4 on the carry. Eagles trying to get low on him because he wants to get that short yardage and to get those chains to move just a bit. Hobbs gets him down on the knees that time. Starting to see some subs coming in on the defensive line. I believe that was 74. I don't have that on my roster. We'll double check to see who that is. 1st and 10. Going to go around the right end this time and getting slung down by the back of the jersey to the 35-yard line. Now, that might have thrown him ahead for about a yard or two. 2-yard pickup on that one. The Hobbs Eagles get some nice grips on the back of the jersey by Zach Salcido. So that will be a 2-yard pickup. And that was going to Adrian Tercero. That'll be Tercero's first carry of the ball game for 2. 2nd down and 8 now from the Eagle 35 on the right hash. Clock to 7:40 left in the ball game. 48-0 Eagles. Twins left, receiver right. Fake the handoff. They'll throw it to the screen route left side. It bounces off the numbers. And they're lucky, Oregon Mountain is, that wasn't a backward pass because that could have been a fumble as the pass was intended on the left side of the line of scrimmage to Isaiah Cardenas. Eagles were kind of in the dangerous zone there, having a pick 6, and that would have been the ball game if that would have been galloped the other direction. Eagles had a couple of guys in the area just waiting to have a chance for the INT. 3rd down and 8, go at the angle right to the 30-yard line, breaking a tackle and out of bounds. That will not stop the clock, though, with the mercy rule going on. That will look like enough for the 1st down as number 9 gets 9, Fabian Lazoya. So a lot of guys being inserted now. And that will be another Oregon Mountain 1st down. They've got 10, so they're getting a good momentum here going. Probably their last possible possession of the ball game. But they do trail 48-0, and they can't even get this down beneath mercy rule even if they do score a touchdown here. 1st and 10 from the 28. Give the handoff again to Lazoya up the middle. He goes and hurdles over the top of a few players, which you're not supposed to do, but he gets across the 20 and is shy of the 1st down by about 2 for 8. So 2 carries for 17 yards now for Lazoya on the last 2 carries. The ball now at the 18 of the Eagles, just inside the right hash. Durango will send receiver right, 2 to the left side. He's got a man behind him in the backfield and 1 slot left. Good high snap there. He comes down with it, hands off Lazoya, comes through the middle of the gap, and is dragging people with him. The Hobbs Eagles can't get him down quick enough. Looks like 11 make it 12 for Lazoya, so they found a guy that's being consistent with the running game. Got 3 carries for 29 yards just here in the 4th quarter alone. 11th 1st down for Oregon Mountain, now at the Eagle 8. Durango going to throw a loop pass to the left side and overthrows his receivers and heads to the sideline. Maybe getting a hand on it for the Eagles out in that secondary as well. I believe out there to put a hand on the football. The cornerback, Manuel Murillo. Incomplete for Oregon Mountain. Brings up a 2nd down and goal now from the Eagle 8-yard line. Umpire taking a few seconds to get the ball respotted. Clock to 5:18 remaining in the contest, and Hobbs up 48-0. They've held him out of the end zone up to this point. Twins left, receiver right. Boy, the ball got snapped. The quarterback didn't know what to do with it. I think it got snapped before he was ready for it. I wasn't sure whether he was to pitch or not, and miscommunication by the Oregon Mountain Knights, and that's going to lose him about 2 yards on the play. Or actually, no, they're going to say 1 because his knee went down quicker to the 9-yard line. So -1, that's going to have to go to the quarterback, Durango. And he's completely negative on this game. That's his 2nd for -3 total in the contest. 3rd down and goal now from the 9. Twins left, receiver right for the Knights. Shotgun to Durango. Give the hand up the middle. Bounce it into a wall, then gets knocked back as Estrella. Try to get across the 5. I don't know if he's going to get that with the forward progress. See where they're going to mark this one. Big brick wall at the front there for the Eagles. He went from the 9 to the 6, so a 3-yard pickup for Estrella. I haven't seen him get the ball in the last 4 or 5 carries. 4th down and goal now for Oregon Mountain at the 6-yard line of the Eagles. Durango gets the shotgun. He's going to throw it down the middle, and there's a man open the middle of the end zone for the touchdown. Eagles bit on the run and scoring the touchdown. Boy, their sideline pretty excited after their first score. That was Francisco Alvarado with a 5-yard touchdown pass. Alvarado gets his 4th reception of the ball game, this one for a touchdown, for a total of 23 yards. So they break the 0 on the scoreboard as we wait for the PAT for the Knights, and that's Nate Chavez. Bad snap, and rolling out of it is Chavez. He's going to roll left to the 10, and it'll be brought down and whirlwind into the turf to the 8-yard line. The 2-point conversion is no good. as the Hobbs Eagles knew that was going to be a fire-out play as a bad snap. A couple of guys chasing down on that one. Try to check to see who that was that made the tackle in the left side of the line. That appeared to be Cameron Hernandez, the outside linebacker for the Eagles. Well, that will put the PAT to rest there. No good. We got 4:10 remaining in the game. The Eagles probably their last possession run the clock out. They lead 48-6 over Oregon Mountain. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Oregon Mountain not scoreless anymore, but they do trail the Eagles 48-6 here at Watson Stadium on senior night. Hobbs up by 42 still. 4:10 left in the game. Hobbs Eagles just need to run the clock out to put this one in the books and go to 8-1 on the season, 3-1 in district. Oregon Mountain was working on their first district win of the season. Not going to happen tonight. Onside kick will take a bounce and a pop-up at the 31. Running from right to left, stretching out the field, cutting up the middle of the 35, 40, down at the 41-yard line. Return man for the Eagles, Hector Armendariz, and boy, he is the go-to guy on the special teams on these kick returns. Great field position for the Eagles, but they need to be consistent on the yardage gained here. Try to get Oregon Mountain to burn some timeouts and put this game away for good. So Hobbs will get it from the 41 on the left hash, 1st and 10. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and the only score in the fourth is Oregon Mountain. Coming off a 5-yard pass to Alvarado from Tarango. 1 receiver right, 1 left, shotgun for Argot. He's going to throw quickly to the left sideline. The ball's in and out of the numbers and comes out on the turf, intended for Justin Black, incomplete. He's also the hold man on the PATs. Actually, that's the new quarterback on the field, Owen Calloway, the junior, 6'1", 159. Nice solid throw that time on the bullet. The receiver just not ready for it, so incomplete on that one. Timeout looks like been called by Oregon Mountain. No, actually it's an injury timeout near the 48-yard line. Looks like a Knight player flat on his back. So we'll wait here to see what's happening there. So Callaway will step up. He's the junior backup quarterback. And he did come in against Oregon Mountain last year, only had a chance to throw 2 passes, went 0 for 2 in that game. But so far this season, Callaway is 1 of 2 in the passing game for 8 yards. I don't think you're going to see many more passes from him, although that was a nice one there. And those are his numbers in the passing department. He's got 4 carries so far on the season running the football. His longest carry for 6 yards. So 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Still waiting to see who the injured player was for Oregon Mountain. And remember, Eagles next week will take on Carlsbad, the final regular season game. The Cavemen are playing Las Cruces tonight and are very looking at this game next week to decide if they're going to get a chance to go to the playoffs or not. If they lose tonight against Las Cruces, that will give them another loss to 2-2 on the season from the district look. And then that would make it a major game for them to try to make the playoffs. We mentioned Carlsbad is in the top 10 in the poll so far, both the Max Preps and the coaches poll, so that's very important as well. They want to get some more district wins under their belts, and of course the Hobbs Eagles is the last game that they'll have a chance to do that next week. We'll have the pregame show at 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff. Last week, Carlsbad lost to Centennial 44-7, 37-point loss. The Eagles only lost by 7 to Centennial, 27-20, so that's a big discrepancy there in the favor of the Eagles by just looking at the numbers. Injured Oregon Mountain player leaving the field, Jose Comunez, the senior. So he's being helped off by a couple of athletic trainers. Hobbs has a 2nd down and 10. They had a long time to discuss their next play. They'll have it at their own 41-yard line on the left hash. Try to get you an update on that Carlsbad score against Las Cruces tonight here in just a minute. Carlsbad's at 4-4 on the season overall and 2-1 in district. They've been outscored in the district schedule 28 points for and 32 against. Callaway waiting for the shotgun. Hands the football off the middle. Stutter step, trying to get outside and putting his helmet down and clashing into the defense. Is Saul Armendariz getting his first carry of the game. See if he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Very close to it. Looks like no gain on the play as he bammed into somebody pretty hard. Bounced back just a bit, but did get back to the line. So 3rd down and 10. Eagles got it at the 41 still. Letting the clock run as much as possible. 3 minutes left in the game and up by 42. Callaway's going to look to the back, to the sideline. Actually, they might have put back Argot back in there. Let me double check to see who we got behind the line. Nope, it's going to be Callaway. He waits to get the play call, backs it up for the shotgun. Has receiver left and right, 2 on the left side, 1 right. Going to go with the handoff, angling right, and met in the backfield, and not going to be faking out Oregon Mountain on that one. That's going to be a couple of yard loss that time for Armendariz. 3 yards minus there for Armendariz. And now the Eagles have a 4th down. They're going to bring the punt unit in, but they're going to let this clock run on the field here. Try to get it down as much as possible. Eagles up by 42. Now a touchdown and a PAT would get it back to 35, but that would not help the situation for Oregon Mountain because 35 is the mercy rule still with the clock running. A little bit of delay here to get the right personnel on the field for the Eagles. And quickly running back out there is Ethan Van Landingham. Now he was injured earlier in the season before Roswell's game and on the road. And he sat out for quite a few games at the punter, but he is back tonight doing that chore. They put a man in motion for the Eagles going from left to right. That's Isaac Flanagan. The kick for Van Landingham from the 28, sidewinder, takes a roll at the 30 for Oregon Mountain, scooped up at the 25, and brought down hard after a 2-yard return. Nothing doing that time. Boy, talk about some great coverage for the Hobbs Eagles. A speedster getting down there. That was Kenyon Johnson, the junior defensive end. That kid, 6'4", 235, but he was a bullet to get the coverage. That'll give Oregon Mountain the football, though, at the 26-yard line. Clock with only 1:16 remaining. Not a lot of time for Coach Steve Castile to get this team in the end zone again. They did score on their last drive, a 5-yard pass into the end zone from Tarango to Alvarado. Finally out in the field come the Knights. Clock's down to 1:10 as the clock already starting before they get out there at the 25. Receiver left and right. Shotgun for Tarango. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Back to pass. 1-step drop. Going to air it out. Spiral over the left shoulder. Far sideline to the 35. They're going to call a late PI. Boy, that flag came out kind of late from the back judge that time, but they're going to say a little contact at the last second there. Long pass. A nice spiral from Tarango. It was going to be caught at the 35, but there was a little collision there, as that was intended for Isaiah Cardenas for the Knights. Eagles had a couple of deep on that one. The 2 defenders for the Eagles. They have a number 24, which you don't have on the roster, so a sub coming in, and an 84. Neither one of those guys on the Hobbs Eagle roster. And they're actually moving things back to the 40. Might have called it an offensive pass interference, though. But it's back to a 1st and 10, so I'm not sure they picked the flag up or not. Shotgun to Tarango. He'll air it out for the out route. Caught at the 45 of the Eagles, and that'll be a 14-yard pickup. But, boy, did he get drilled hard. Taking a major shot at him was that number 24 once again for the Eagles. Sorry we don't have a number on that one, or name on that one. So that will be a 15-yard pickup. And coming up with the catch for Oregon Mountain was Isaiah Maldonado. So 15 yards on the catch, and that will be a 1st down pickup for Oregon Mountain. Timeout on the field as the Knights want to talk about it, trying to get another score on the board here. Could be a factor in terms of getting a chance for the playoffs. Really, they're out of it mathematically unless some teams lost some big games here the last 2 games remaining of the regular season. We'll take a quick break. 30 seconds left. We'll be back with the timeout. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Tarango throws a curl route to the 40, but it's too low in the turf, incomplete for Oregon Mountain on the far sideline. Clock will continue to run with the mercy rule down to 17 seconds. Another timeout for Oregon Mountain. They have a 2nd down and 10 now from the Eagle 46-yard line. We did mention they did score here in the 4th quarter off a 5-yard pass from Tarango to Alvarado. That was the only score of the game for the Knights. 48-6 your score. Hobbs up by 42 with just 17 seconds remaining. So conceivably maybe a couple of plays here for Oregon Mountain. We do have an update for the Lovington score that's going on with the big district battle. Lovington now up by double digits over Albuquerque Academy, 26-14, a 12-point lead. Lovington had some problems getting any wins in the regular season, regular pre-district schedule, but they are 2-0 in district with a tough pre-district schedule, so they're making some heads turn in 4A football. 2nd down and 10 now for the 46, shotgun to Triangle, 3-step drop. He's going to roll right, met in the backfield, trying to pitch it, and he gets dropped. The ball comes out, the fumble, unless they call him in the turf, they're going to say he was down. But he's going to lose a lot of yards, about 7 for the quarterback, and that might just be the ball game. They're not going to run another play after that. That's it. Game is over. The Hobbs Eagles had 3 in the backfield to stop the action, and that puts the W in the book for the Eagles. 48-6, your score, defeating Oregon Mountain. Hobbs now 8-1 on the season. They go to 3-1 in district as Oregon Mountain drops to 3-6 and 0-4 in the district as well. We'll take a quick 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious tonight, 48-6 over Oregon Mountain to go to 8-1 on the season, 3-1 in the district. So a mercy rule win by 42 points in the contest. For the Oregon Mountain Knights, their top rusher was Estrella, 18 carries for 84 yards. Other carriers in the ball game, Fabian Lazoya, 3 for 29. 6 for 17 for Lazoya. Tarango, the quarterback, was 3 for -10. Did not have a positive carry in the ball game. And that was it for the rushing game. Once again, 29 carries, 130 yards for the Knights on the rushing game tonight. In the passing department, they were 6 of 13 for 38, or 6 of 13 for, or excuse me, let me repeat that. 10 of 19 for 64 yards in the contest for Oregon Mountain. Maldonado, 1 catch for 2 yards. Alvarado, 4 catches for 23 yards, including the 5-yard touchdown snag. Garcia caught 1 for 17. Dominguez 2 for 5. A couple other guys getting him as well. A 15-yard catch pulled down by Comunez. And then 1 for 2 yards by Julian Gonzalez. So again, 10 of 19 for 64. Just shy of 200 yards in total offense for the Knights at 194. They had 3 penalties, a total of 25 yards. 3 interceptions in the ball game for Tarango, the quarterback. 2 punts and a turnover on downs after a missed field goal. And they had a total of 11 first downs, and that was predominantly from their last drive of the ball game, where they were able to pick up 6 first downs before hitting the end zone. On the side of the Hobbs Eagles, their top rusher tonight, Diego Baeza, 18 carries, 122 yards on the ground. He had a 5-yard touchdown run. Eagles definitely get some damage from him on the offensive side. He had several double-digit carries, 17 and 21 and 11 in the first half, a 16 and a 12-yarder in the second half. A little bit of a drop-off after him, though. Argot, the quarterback, 5 carries for 32 yards, a long of 10. Trevino had a couple of reverses for 24, a 2 for 24. Van Landingham had a run for 23 yards, and that was it for the positive rushes for the Hobbs Eagles. They finished up with 27 carries, 192 yards, just shy of 200 in the running game. In the passing department, all coming in first half catches was Caden Trevino, 5 for 123 yards. All 5 of the catches for double digits. The first 2, 28 and 50 yards, both for touchdowns. And the last 3, 15, 19, and 11. A big first half for Caden Trevino. Jaquez had a couple of touchdown catches for 24 and 30 yards. He finished 3 for 66, his third catch in the second half for 12. Armendariz had a couple of catches for 20. And also Van Landingham, 5 catches for 52 yards. 3 of the 5 were for double digits, 11, 11, and 1 for 18 and a touchdown. Ortega able to snag 1 catch for 3 yards. So the Eagles finishing up with 5 receivers with at least 1 or more catches. And in terms of the passing in this game, Argot 16 of 23 for 264 in the air. Eagles finish up with 456 yards, 192 on the ground, and 264 in the air unofficially. Eagles winning the battle of the first downs as well. They had 18 compared to 11 for Oregon Mountain. Now, Hobbs did manage 2 turnovers in that game, one in the second quarter and one in the third, both fumbles to give the ball back to Oregon Mountain, but Mountain was not able to score on either one of those drives after receiving the football as a gift near the red zone. Hobbs did manage a few more penalties in this game. They had a total of 7, a majority of those in the first half, though, for a total of 30, but then they also had 2 penalties in the second half for 20, so 50 yards overall on 7 penalties in this ball game. So with that big-time offensive production, close to 500 yards in this game, 48-6 the final score with the win over Oregon Mountain for your Hobbs Eagles. Up next for Hobbs is Carlsbad, as the Cavemen have Las Cruces tonight. I don't have a score update on that game, but definitely should be a very important game next week in terms of playoffs. Carlsbad trying to make it in, and so they're going to be really gunning to try to get the win, an upset win over the Hobbs Eagles. Again, they play Las Cruces tonight. Last week, they lost to Centennial 44-7, losing by 37 points. Hobbs only lost to Centennial by 7, so that's a big glaring difference there in terms of production. Alamogordo, Carlsbad only beat them by 10, 47-37. Eagles last week winning by 44 points, so another glaring positive for the Eagles. Against Roswell, Carlsbad lost by 41 points. The Eagles beat Roswell by 44, so that's the biggest differential of all the games played between the two teams. And Clovis Carlsbad beat them by 41. The Eagles beat them by 39. So that's the only positive for Carlsbad in terms of winning a team that the Eagles both beat as well. So definitely a big advantage for Hobbs in this one. Carlsbad averaging 28 points a game and giving up 32. As you know, the Hobbs Eagles have been dominating everybody pretty much this season with the exception of Centennial. They've outscored their opponents 45-20 in terms of a head-to-head competition. Of course, tonight winning by 42 points. Again, big win for the Eagles as they get that record at 8-1 with a 48-6 win over Oregon Mountain. Now, next week we will be on the radio for the final regular season game on the road at Carlsbad. 6:45 pregame show kickoff at 7 o'clock. And, of course, you'll get those on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Hobbs Sports page there as well, and HobbsAmerica.com. A quick wrap-up on some scores that we have up to date at this point. We told you already that JAL pretty much solidified their number one ranking in the state of New Mexico, shutting out Hagerman at the half. Final score, Mercy Roll, 57-6 in that one. Lovington was leading Academy out of Albuquerque. That game in Lovington tonight, 26-14, a 12-point lead. Last score we had towards the end of the third. And it looks like Tatum squeaked out the win, 8-6 over Logan, a 2-point win in their district as well. So congratulations to the Coyotes, and hopefully the Wildcats continue on with their win, and the JAL Panthers getting their victory earlier tonight. Again, final score here at Watson Stadium, 48-6 as the win goes for the Hobbs Eagles here on senior night. Like to thank Jonathan on the camera, Tiffany, and, of course, Evie Stuber backing us up tonight technically as well. Until next Saturday night at 6:45. Have a great rest of a weekend out there.
Fair play.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.